Welcome. Apparently, I can't say welcome back anymore, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Speak On It.
Fuck you,
I
bad
am
boy.
your host.
Damn.
I am
Already
your
the
host,
profanity.
Big Mouth. Listen, man, when you get, when we got to go to the legal department, not fun.
Ruined a master class of editing.
I am your host, Big Mike. I've got the
Said,
fellas
take
with
that.
me.
They're like, oh yeah, Dylan, good job editing. Claim.
Just giving yourself more work, man.
I've got my man Dylan next to me, two-time COVID champion.
We're out here. Beat it twice. Two time, like a Booker T. Five time.
Oh, you wanted
it five. You wanted 5 times.
Already beat it twice. What's up?
Got Breezy on top of him.
Pause.
And we've got our defending
Super pause.
highest on cloud 9, Anthony here, fresh off having to be resurrected multiple times Sunday night.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
But his Raiders are in the playoffs. We are going to start with football, but we are going to change it up tonight. He's been talking about this literally for a month, so I felt it was only right that we give him the floor and just let him go, and me and Dylan will sit here and take the L.
I'm putting clown faces for us right now.
For our audio viewers, that was Anthony revealing his Raiders jersey that he wears
unzipping his jacket slowly.
And wait, hold on. In Derek Carr, we trust.
Hey Dylan, make sure you give me a Pennywise clown face because I feel betrayed by this guy right now. I was the only one that gave him his flowers, but he said I was catching smoke. So okay.
All right, clown faces for all three of us now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off by saying yes. 32 teams, 32 franchise historic NFL teams. One nation. There's only one. And last week, we not only broke TV ratings with what many people are saying was the best game of the season. The best game of the season. It was a dogfight. And I remember reading all those articles saying the Raiders were not going to beat the Chargers. I even read one article in particular that was chronicling the Raiders' offensive struggles, dating back about 8 weeks ago, saying the Raiders had no chance. Analysts were saying the Raiders had no chance. I was in this very chat saying the Raiders were going to go to the playoffs. Yeah, not too popular. And look at where we are now. At the end of the day, when you know you're rooting for a team like the Raiders, you can't lose. Can't lose. And look what happened. We did not lose. I knew we weren't going to lose. I knew we weren't. In Carr, we trust. You got to trust your quarterback. You got to trust your team. And that's what happened. I don't always like to be right. Well, yeah, I do. But I like to just be a little less asshole-ish when I do it, But, hey, why not have fun doing it, But at the end of the day, I salute every team that made it to the playoffs. But it's time for a new effing declaration that they don't even know about yet. Yes. And when I say they, I mean y'all. So I've been hiding this from you. I didn't want to say it until now. So, Mike, I thank you for giving me this little spotlight right now. The Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. You heard it right now. We made the playoff. Hold on. Because when I said we're making the playoffs, y'all were doing the same thing y'all was doing right now. Y'all was giggling, y'all was laughing, y'all was doing all that, and I proved all three of y'all wrong, which is why I'm standing up here and I got the spotlight. We're going to the Super Bowl. Alright? We have a healthy Darren Waller who's getting healthier by the day. Hunter Renfrow has been balling his goddamn eyes out. And Josh Jacobs, two touchdowns, over 120 something rushing yards, literally led us to victory. We got the ice cold killer, Daniel Carlson, the best kicker in the game. Yes, sorry, Justin Tucker. The best kicker in the game, Daniel Carlson. That's why we gave him 4 years, $18 million.
Let me ask you a question. Go ahead, finish your rant. My bad.
Yeah, finished up.
No, guys. This is not a rant because I was holding this in. I did a pretty good job.
This is literally a rant.
This not a rant. This is a declaration. This is a declaration.
Dylan, definition of rant on the screen, please. Thanks.
This is a declaration. Yes, the Bengals are a tough team. I give them all the credit in the world. But we're the Raiders. Nobody said we were going to beat the Colts. We beat them in Indianapolis. Nobody said we were going to beat the Chargers. We beat them. Let's make it another one. We're underdogs again in Cincinnati. Derek Carr said the job's not done. He channeled his inner Kobe after the game and said the job's not done. And why did he say the job's not done? Coming out of his mouth, he said he got that from Kobe because that's his favorite player, Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. Derek Carr is the NFL version of Kobe Bryant right now. Right now, he is the NFL version of Kobe Bryant. When I see Carr, I see Kobe, and he sees the same thing in himself. Derek Carr is Mr. Clutch. Mr. Clutch. 29 game-winning drives. 29. That's the age I'm going to be this year, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, I just want to point that out. But yes, you heard it first. Raiders are going to the Super Bowl. We're going to beat Cincinnati in a very close game. Very close. We're most likely going to face Tennessee, which I personally like that matchup because I think we're better than the Titans right now. But right now, we'll just start with Cincinnati. In the words of the great Bill Belichick, we are on to Cincinnati this Saturday at 4:25 p.m., Paul Brown Stadium. Yes, it's been, 32 years since they've had a playoff victory? Sorry, Bengals fans. Not going to keep waiting. You heard it first here. Super Bowl bound. Las Vegas Raiders.
Encore.
Okay. Can I start off? Let me start off.
That is enough of that.
That's a lot of what you just said.
I just want to say one thing. He said something about his kicker. Did he miss a field goal in the first kick of the game Sunday?
No.
He hasn't. He hasn't missed a kick in Allegiant Stadium.
As I had to hear Al Michaels say 50 million times.
The Chargers kicker missed his first kick.
Oh,
the Chargers kicker missed the first kick.
Yeah, it's cool.
Anthony, I had a feeling you were going to say something like this. So, Dylan, I need you to put the picture that you screenshotted from Facebook of Anthony saying that he doesn't think they're going to beat the Bengals on Facebook. So, put that right there, you fucking clown.
Times change, brother.
Times change. Like you literally were in. We were before. Here's. Let me pull it back a little bit. Literally 15 minutes ago, Anthony was in here talking to me and Mike about how he doesn't think they're going to beat the Bengals, and then the spotlight.
It's called an act, Dylan. He called an act.
It's called an act. And he calls for the Super Bowl.
It's called an act, Dylan. I was hiding it. I was purposely masking it to unveil my true intentions.
I mean, I want to give the Raiders so much credit, but I hate you so much. So much. You make it so hard to root for the Raiders. I've said this time and time again. I don't hate the Raiders. I hate you. And, the Raiders played a hell of a football game. to the last second they did, except for when they were trying to fucking tie the football game. And then the Chargers, who Brandon Staley needs to be fired. I cannot believe he went out there and ruined his chances of making the playoffs by calling that timeout. What an absolute ass clown. Absolute ass clown.
I agree 100%, Dylan. Like, I like David Carr. He's a
Derek
good
Carr?
dude. David was the bum from the Texans. Derek. I want to root for him. He seems like a guy you would want to root for.
He's a good dude. He's a great dude.
Damn,
and he's a good
how
leader.
David catch a straight bullet like that?
He sucks. Like, Derek Carr went through so much adversity this year, and he deserves this. This is a great story for the Raiders. And Derek Carr is a great leader and a great man, even when going through the Henry Ruggs situation and the John Gruden shit. And all he did was show love.
DUI after DUI. And he was a leader. He kept his troops motivated. And I want to root for them. But then Anthony just goes hard left. And I can't. Like, wait. What's so hard left, Mike? I made a prediction, and my prediction was right.
You made a guarantee.
I made a guarantee, actually, and I was right. So what's
but you just made another guarantee, so I wonder what happens when that
I know, but my first guarantee was correct, so where's the hard left?
You were correct. Well, I'll give you your flowers there.
I'm talking to Mike. I'm like, where's this hard left coming from,
The
Mike?
hard left is because the only reason y'all are here is because the Chargers coach is an idiot.
Wait, what are you talking about? We would have made the playoffs anyway. Don't you understand that?
Y'all should have lost the game. You should have lost the game multiple times. Why he decided to go for it on fourth down in the second quarter
behind his own 20, inside his own 20,
no sense at all. And then, by the grace of God, Herbert said, "Nah, I'm not going out like that," and started picking y'all apart in the fourth quarter.
I will admit that one series was the most frustrating series of football I've ever seen in my life. Not even just Raiders, but in my life. I can't tell you. It was like 5 times we had them on 4th and 10, like literally 5-6 times, and they converted every damn time.
That touchdown is inexcusable. Inexcusable.
It was. I didn't understand. I literally felt like I was just in a dream. Like, I was like, has this ever happened before? Has a team converted on 4th down
every time?
Every time.
And then the one time where if you want to be aggressive and go for it on 4th down every time, like you've been doing all season, you puss out and say, nah, let's go to overtime. What? Y'all have been running up and down the field on them, and now you want to play for the tie? And do we even need to talk about the timeout? Like, the Raiders were literally saying, you know what? We good. Y'all got it. We got it. Let's just get out of here.
From what I heard, it was said that I think they said that the Chargers thought that the Raiders were trying to win the game. The Chargers felt like the Raiders were actually trying to win the game. So they
were on the 45? They're not kicking.
Everybody who was watching that game knew that the Raiders were trying to tie.
We were within field goal range. We just got into field goal range. So you weren't. You
guys were too far out. You guys got the first down, and then you guys were like really in field goal range.
After they called the timeout, they gave the ball to Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs ran 15 more yards, and it was like, yeah, now y'all done. Now y'all done. We was going to play nice, but now y'all done. Now y'all done. Y'all want to play dumb? Y'all want to play this? Now you're done.
He made a risky move.
Like, it was that whole overtime was so infuriating because the Raiders should have just handed the ball off to Josh Jacobs every single time. The Chargers could not stop him.
He was killing them. He was killing them in overtime.
It was so frustrating to see. And then, Brandon Staley, the Chargers almost won that game in spite of him. Fantastic.
No, but honestly, I'm not saying this. I'm not, even if we lost the game, I'll be saying this right now. Justin Herbert, like you guys just said, that man he's something. He's something.
You're gonna have to deal with that for
They better
years.
do something because Justin Herbert in 2 years won't have wide receivers.
Him and Patrick Mahomes, and they just released our 2022 schedules today. I know it's next year, but like they just posted it online for all the teams and whatnot. Yeah, we face the NFC West and the AFC South next year. That's gonna be, yeah.
See you soon, Anthony.
Yeah, we going to Nashville next year,
Bro,
we going to Nashville next year.
that game was one of the best football games of the year, though.
It
It feels like the Chargers were a part of like two of the better football games of the season, again the Chiefs game and then this
Chiefs
game.
game was amazing too.
Yeah,
So like, it's not even like I'm not even annoyed that the Raiders won. Like, yeah, I'm annoyed because like I have to eat shit, but like, it's just how they won. Like the Chargers blew the game.
my only thing is like, yeah, I didn't want to go to Kansas City, but at the same time, it's like the Steelers and the Chiefs. It's like
you wanted to go to Kansas City last week.
Times
You
change, Dylan.
You wanted to go last week.
Yeah,
You're like, yo, we're going and we're gonna win. We're gonna roll the doors down, run the
yeah.
table.
All right, we can let Pittsburgh go to Arrowhead. I'm good. I don't like that place.
What a career for Big Ben. What a way for his career to end. Just getting shaken out of Pat Mahomes.
I love seeing all these Steelers fans online. They're donating to Daniel Carson's charity, and then like they're thanking Max Crosby, and like I'm like, why are you thanking us? We just sent you out of Arrowhead.
Shout out to Max Crosby, by the way. Max Crosby is a fucking animal.
That
He
man,
is unbelievable.
unfucking,
And yo, your
unfreaking
secondary
believable,
stinks,
man.
but it came to play. It came to play against those wide receivers, and the Chargers don't have slouch wide receivers either.
It did, but it's so conflicting though, because it's like
It's so weird. You guys like that secondary sucks, and they put the clamps on Keenan Allen and gave Mike Williams issues all game long.
But
they
it seemed
still,
like he was the only one playing. I don't know where Keenan Allen was.
Keenan Allen was getting doubled.
No, he was getting doubled. We
doubled
were putting the clamps on him
because
like,
Keenan Allen is one of those guys where it's like, one, I think he's the most underrated receiver in football because he's just great at everything. Great route runner, great hands.
He's an elite route runner. That's why I'm so
He's
surprised.
one of the best route runners in football, but you guys doubled him. And Mike Williams is really good too. But man, Mike Williams came to play when it came down to it. You guys could not stop him.
We couldn't stop him. They made the catches they needed to make.
That touchdown is so like inexcusable. Touchdown that last drive where they just drove up. Like, why is he getting in position to?
That was my second heart attack.
Why is he in the position to box out that safety? Like, why is there nobody underneath? Where are the linebackers to go underneath? Like,
where are the linebackers? That's what I want to know.
It was fourth down.
Where were the linebackers?
Why are they not playing like, okay, we'll guard goal line. Like,
y'all
we'll come out of our hook zones.
In front of us. Y'all can get whatever you want in front of us. I don't care.
We're all going back. In the end zone. We're all going back. And Mike Williams was able to just sit down, box out, and get that catch. Like, he comfortably get that catch. That's like, ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's when you came in the chat and earlier Sunday, you're like, yeah, we're one wide receiver away from being like a Super Bowl contender. I laughed. I'm like, there's a lot of things y'all are missing, and that play showed what y'all were missing. Like, elite talent in the secondary, elite talent in the linebacker.
Well, our secondary needs. Our secondary, we need to rest up, get some massages, get some energy drinks. We're gonna need to rest up because we got another pair of stud receivers we're gonna have to cover and basically deal with it.
You're gonna have a long day with Kelsey. Have fun. Not Kelsey, excuse me.
Higgins and Chase.
Chase, Higgins, and Boyd.
Boyd, yeah.
You're not gonna be able. You can't double them. You literally cannot double those receivers.
We have to double Chase.
You can't because Joe Burrow is good enough to get everybody else.
You got to double Chase.
Like, we got to double Chase them.
Chase proved that he can win a game by himself.
Yeah, he can win a game.
So, yeah, I know we're going to get burnt on the other side, but damn it. Kill us.
When you got one dude putting up almost 300 yards.
300 yards receiving, he can't get the ball.
No.
Like, I may be in the minority here where I think Joe Burrow's better than Justin Herbert, but
you're not the minority. I agree.
Yeah,
you're
gonna
say that because you're a Raiders.
Hold on, wait, no, I disagree. No, actually, I disagree.
That's why I said I'm in the minority. I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Herbert. I think Herbert's got better tools, as a quarterback to like has a higher ceiling, but I think Joe Burrow currently is a better quarterback, and that's why I was like, if you double Chase, he's gonna pick everything else apart. Like Joe Burrow has this swagger to him that kind of reminds me of like Joe Montana, where he's just in there and he's just like, I know I'm better than all of you, and I know I'm gonna get this guy the ball and this guy the ball whenever, however I can, and you guys can't do shit about it. And then he's gonna go on the sideline, like, told you, and then keep it moving. That's why it's like, if you double Chase, he could put up 300 yards. He may put up 400 yards because he's fucking unbelievable. But there's other studs on that team that like kind of make it so it's like, if you double Chase, T. Higgins is gonna eat. Tyler Boyd's gonna eat, and then CJ Moa, or whatever the hell his name is, Uzama, whatever the hell his name is, tight end, is gonna eat too. So it's like that's a tougher matchup than this Charger one. Only because Joe Burrow is smarter.
No, but the Chargers, that was like
it's a rivalry game. You guys are
when we face the Chargers, okay. The Chargers have a similar kind of makeup to the Bengals in terms of their offensive weapons. We show that we can compete with that kind of team. Now, obviously, now it's kind of like, okay, now we're going from Mike Williams and Keenan Allen to now Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
It's a better group.
Their tight end is also better as well.
And you're on
the running back is better too, yeah. Austin Eckler is good. I'm not taking anything away from Eckler, but Mixon's better than Eckler.
Mixon is better than Eckler.
Yeah, Mixon's better than Eckler. The only thing is I will say about the Bengals, their O-line is weak.
Yes.
That's why I say we need to exploit that O-line. We need to exploit them bad.
Well, you don't have Homeboy in the middle this week.
Yeah, I know. Please don't remind me.
He was eating.
Don't remind me.
And you're gonna need a fat fuck in the middle to stop Joe Mixon, because Joe Mixon's not gonna scatter around. He's gonna try to run you over too. But you got Ngakoue, who hopefully he plays.
And then he decides to live up to his potential and actually show up.
He's played good all year. Ngakoue's played good all year.
He didn't play good.
No, but he also got hurt. Hurt.
Yeah, he's been playing a little big though, so I'll give him a little bit of a pass. My thing is just like, again, there's not too many areas where I can say, okay, we are better than Cincinnati. All right, like realistically, my whole thing is, again, obviously, Dylan, you disagree, but I think Herbert was the better quarterback than Burrow. My thing is, it's like, okay, but Burrow's still nasty. But we've shown that we can beat Herbert. I feel like we can beat Burrow too, you know? And my thing is, if we put the pressure on Burrow, because he's not getting as much protection as Herbert gets, if we could put the pressure on Burrow, that will make a difference. You know, that will help our DBs out.
The only thing I'm sorry, continue.
I was like, now, my last thing is we can keep Chase to like what, 150 yards? Is that realistic?
I think that'd be a win.
Yeah, if we keep him to like 150 yards,
4 or 5 catches, 150, and maybe a touchdown. That might.
Yeah, just one touchdown. One touchdown.
If you can keep him to one touchdown, y'all might win the game.
If we can keep,
I gotta keep Mixon in check though. But
the thing is, if you're gonna be trying to get pressure on Burrow, I don't know how it's going to be gone about, right? I know your pass rush can get there regardless, but if your secondary doesn't hold up, you're getting zero pressure.
No, because here's my problem. You're absolutely right, and I hate that because Burrow torches blitzes. He absolutely murders blitzes, and that's another thing that really concerns me, and it gets me nervous because he's really good against blitzes.
Your secondary literally has to hold up. And if they're going short routes all game, it's going to be a long football game because that's just going to open up.
And we're exhausted. That's the thing. We're exhausted. Our game is not on Sunday. It's on Saturday. We're exhausted.
You got a short week. I know you did your Kobe comparison. I'll give you that. But your DBs need to get like I'll give you like he could do that, whatever. But like you did your Kobe comparison, your secondary needs Mike's secret stuff. Like they literally need to go in there and get Michael's secret stuff and be ready to go out there and fight because, man, that secondary is going to get picked apart. And if your guys aren't getting pressure, you guys are going to start blitzing, and that's just going to open up the game to a whole other ass whooping that you guys may not be ready for. But like, I hope it's a good game because I want all the playoff games to be good. Like, again, I like the story, right? The Raiders are great. Like, I really like Derek Carr as a person, and as a football player, sometimes he becomes stupid, but he is a good quarterback. Like, he's a really good quarterback. And I like the story, but I don't know if there's a hotter team going into the AFC playoffs than the Bayou Bengals.
I said the Chiefs are
Dallas
still the
Cowboys.
hottest team. He said the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I said the AFC.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm saying that is they won the division for the first time in 6 years since that the big meltdown against the Steelers.
What's the who's going against who?
All right, let's pull up the bracket.
I'm glad you asked that, James, because unlike Anthony, there is someone else in this chat whose team is in the playoffs, and he doesn't brag. And would you look at that? Does that say that they have a bye? What does that mean? Oh, that bye means that means they're the 1 seed. Oh, that's what that means.
You know how many
right?
1 seeds lose in the divisional round? You know how many times that's happened? That's pretty common in the NFL, if you ask me, Mike.
If the Raiders win, the Raiders have to go to Tennessee.
Well, that's if the Chiefs and the Bills win as well.
Well, you guys are the lowest seed. You guys are the lowest seed.
What are you talking about?
You're the 6th seed, correct?
No, we're the 5th seed.
Okay, who's the 6th? The Steelers?
The 6th seed. No, the 6th seed is the Patriots. The Patriots would go to Tennessee.
No, the Patriots
have the better record.
No,
the Patriots are the highest AFC seed.
The
wild card.
No, we're not. We're the 5th seed.
Wait,
the Patriots are the 6th seed.
Kansas City is 2.
Kansas City's 2. Pittsburgh's 7. We're 5. Bengals are 4.
The Patriots are the 6th seed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Bills are the 3 seed.
That does change things up. Okay, so y'all can literally avoid. Well,
then that means you're going to Kansas City, and we know what's
going to
happen there.
Well, that's only if the Patriots. Are we saying the Patriots are going to beat the Bills?
I think they can beat the Bills. I think they can beat the Bills. Did you check the forecast for that game? They said it's going to be very. They said it's going to be very similar to that first game. When the Patriots picked against the Bills.
Let me get my first prediction out. Then the Bills are winning that fucking football game.
No, that game when Mac Jones threw 3 passes, they said the weather conditions are going to be similar.
Exactly. Yeah. Give me the Bills.
No, what are you talking about?
Give me the Bills this time. Give me the Bills this time.
Fucking licking his chops. What are you talking about?
No, give me the Bills this time.
Licking their chops.
Buffalo wants that more.
No, New England. New England's winning that game. New England's winning that game. New England is definitely winning that game.
You need to rely on your quarterback in these games. And I'm telling you right now, if it's another one of those games, I'm pulling for the Bills. I think the Bills actually go in there.
Hell no.
And they win that game.
No.
Give the Patriots the whoop.
No. That Patriots team, that's one of those teams where it's like, okay, they will get the job done.
They can. They absolutely can. But the playoffs and the regular season are a little bit different. And that's why I'm like, I'll give this one to the Bills. Because they've already done it. They've already gone against the Patriots in this weather. They know what they have to do differently. They're going to stack the box all game this time. This time.
Mac Jones is going to have to beat them.
Hey, Mac, beat me. Because the only other quarterback that I saw going to Buffalo with similar weather was Zach Wilson on Sunday. And Zach Wilson has similar arm power to Josh Allen. So they were able to throw the football in that weather. Mac Jones does not have that arm power. Mac Jones has to win that game.
I disagree. I think there's multiple ways they can win that game. Just knowing that Patriots team and the way they win games, it's not just going to be Mac Jones.
This is going to be the way the Titans beat the Ravens in the playoffs a couple years ago. We're going to stack the box. Lamar, you have to beat us with your arm. This is the same thing, where we're going to stack the box. Mac Jones, you have to beat us with your arm. And that ball is going to be wobbling all over the place. So if I have to deal with the quarterback's arm strength in this situation, if the Patriots were in any other matchup here, except for the Chiefs, I may pick the Patriots. But since they have to go in Buffalo with similar weather.
Yeah, I might have picked New England against Cincinnati. I might have did that.
Hell no.
The only reason I'm picking Buffalo this time is because they got the experience of that last game in Buffalo.
I have the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Chiefs advancing on the AFC. On the NFC, we haven't really talked about the NFC today, but
Well,
I
let's get
have
into it. Let's
okay.
Are we're doing 1 week? Well, we're gonna pick our Super Bowl picks, and then
Okay.
let's just do wild card weekend, and then next week we'll do divisional. And
Okay.
so,
Well,
but
just
let's do the Super Bowl pick.
okay. Well, you
So,
already heard my Super Bowl.
well, who y'all playing? Who are the Raiders playing in the Super Bowl? Because if you say the Cowboys, I'm leaving.
He said, "No, we're not playing the Cowboys. We are going to play." This
I know where he's
Super
going.
Bowl
I know
will
where he's
be
going.
Derek Carr versus Jimmy Garoppolo.
Whoa, I didn't think he was going there.
What? The 49ers
The
are going to get to the Super Bowl?
The San Francisco 49ers are a hot team, Mike.
They are hot. Listen.
They have been balling.
Anthony, good for you.
They
have been balling.
They shut
like
up. They beat the Rams.
My thing is, it's just
good
like,
for you.
yes, obviously, y'all know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. I think he's the greatest human being to ever throw a football. I love this 49ers team. I love this 49ers team.
And you know what, Anthony? I'm not going to pick the Niners, but if the Niners have to play the Packers, that's San Francisco football.
You gotta have the seedings. What seed is San Francisco?
They're the
6, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the 6. They're the 6 seed.
So they're also the. Thank you.
Oh,
we all know the Eagles aren't beating the Bucks. So,
hold on. I think the Eagles have a chance.
Hell no.
I think the Eagles have a chance.
I'm with Dylan. I'm not. I'm not
Wait,
man enough to pick it. I'm not man enough.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Come on now. Y'all capping now. Get out of here, man.
Let me tell you.
If I had to think about it first.
If I knew what that point spread was, I would highly consider that game because Tampa Bay is leaking oil.
You know what? Hold that thought. Let me go see what that point spread is. Let's go pull up. Let's go pull the gambler.
Y'all really think that Philly gonna do something down there?
Well, so my reasoning, right? Philly. How much did Philly lose by last time they played Tampa? It wasn't a lot. It was a close game. And Tampa's hurt and has less weapons at wide receiver.
Tampa's leaking oil.
Like, will I ever bet against Tom Brady? Absolutely not. I've been burned my whole life by that man. But I don't think it's far-fetched to say that the Eagles can win this game.
And it's not like Tampa Bay has this great home field advantage we should be scared of.
They don't. And Tampa's been giving up a ton of running yards the last 3 weeks.
And Jalen Hurts I'm telling y'all, stop sleeping on Jalen Hurts, man.
But Jalen Hurts is a wildly conflicting quarterback.
8.5 is the spread. I'm taking Philly plus 8.5 to cover that.
All right. Well, y'all can have your little Philly dreams and all that.
All they have to do is not lose by 9 points, and you win.
Anthony, what's your drink of choice? What's your drink of choice?
Just give me a 0 sugar ginger ale. I'm good.
I will bet you a zero sugar ginger ale.
A JMO and ginger?
That Philly get that. Give me 8 points, and I'll take Philly. Give me 8, and I'll take Philly, and I'll bet you a ginger ale.
Done.
That's hey man. Anybody who gambles who listens to this show,
orange soda
plus 8.5. That's a fucking steal.
Bet I'll get you orange
plus
soda.
8.5 is a steal.
I'll get you a 2 liter too. A 2 liter.
I got you. We can put 2 liter on it. We can put 2 liter on it.
All right, 2 liter. Because the score I have in my head is a little different from the score y'all think.
But here's the thing: Philly is playing better now than they were when they played Tampa earlier in the season because they are heavy in the run.
Listen, I don't know what. Listen, I got Tampa Bay 33-13. I don't know what y'all seeing. I don't know where y'all
running them off the field.
I'm surprised y'all even think this is going to be a competitive game.
That game has 24-20 written all over it.
No, the heck it does not.
Written all over it.
Philly's defense is underrated.
Maybe the Rams and Cardinals has 24-20 on it. Not the Bucks and the Eagles, man.
I think that game's going to be a shootout.
I would say we're doing so. Let's stick in the NFC. So let Cowboys, Niners. So clearly, Anthony thinks the Niners are going to win.
I think the Niners are going to win that game.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but I got Dallas going. I have Dallas winning that.
I hate the Cowboys. I want them to lose so bad.
Fun fact: this is the first time the Cowboys and the Niners have met in the playoffs in like 26 years.
It's such a big game.
This is an old school rivalry game.
Let's not forget, who really thinks the Cowboys are going to have home field advantage? We all know how the Niners fans travel.
I would have said no until last week when the Niner fans took over SoFi Stadium.
Yeah,
but that always happens.
No, but they don't just take. No, but they also take over other stadiums too, especially the Cowboys.
I don't know if they can take over stadiums.
No, but the Cowboys are known for having their stadium taken over.
Yeah, their stadium.
Really?
Remember when the Broncos played them early in the season? That place was literally littered in orange.
That's fair.
Come on, Mike. San Francisco, baby.
Where San
Come on, Star Jimmy, baby. Come on.
No, I can't.
I can see a world where San Fran wins, but I'm taking Dallas.
I'm going with Dak Prescott.
You going with Dak Prescott?
I'm going with Dak in that defense. I'm going with the defense. Even though Trayvon Diggs is having the most overrated season by a corner of all time.
I was just about to say it. I was like, Trayvon Diggs, a dude who runs interceptions, man.
Trayvon Diggs, if he didn't have his, 12, 13 interceptions, he is arguably having the worst season of a corner of all time.
He's a high-risk, high-reward player.
It's nasty.
That's exactly what it is. He's the definition of high-risk, high-reward.
Like that, he's a nasty corner because you don't know what you're going to get. He has, I think, given up the most yards as from a corner this year. I think he's given up the most yards on first down and the most yards out of cover one. And the Cowboys play a lot of cover one, and he's getting destroyed out there. But
another reason why I say San Francisco is because I think honestly they're the only team who has a chance to go to Lambeau and get a victory.
I think they're the only team that has a chance of going into Lambeau and beating them.
I don't see any of these other teams going to Lambeau. Sorry, Tom Brady, not even you.
I still think the Rams could do it.
Aaron Rodgers struggles against the NFC West team.
But Matthew Stafford, though, he's been conflicting as of lately with some of his questionable decisions, very questionable decisions. Stafford.
I love Matt Stafford, but he's out here just giving games away.
Yeah, he's been doing a little. He's getting way too careless with the ball.
He's giving games away.
This is the moment I've been waiting for all week because let's pull the current back, fans. Again, James, you've noticed you listen to us every week. James doesn't watch football. I gave him the out. Like, listen, you don't have to pick. We understand. You don't have to put yourself out there. He was like, nah. I listen to y'all every week. I put it together. I can piece it together. All right, you want to step into this fire. You are going to get held accountable for these picks. So who's going to the Super Bowl? And then we can get into these weekly picks. But who's going to the Super Bowl?
Let me look at this. Let me look at this bracket really quick.
Dylan, play Jeopardy music.
Got it.
All right. AFC and NFC. Okay. I believe that it is going to be. All right.
Take your time, bro.
Listen, you can always go chalk.
And, yeah, you can.
Nah, not needed. All right, so we're going to pull it back up this way so everybody can see each other's faces. All right. There you go, Dylan. Where you at? Enoch? You're hiding. There you go.
It's all right. It's okay.
All right. For the AFC, who's going to the Super Bowl is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Packers.
That's a solid pick.
That's a great Super Bowl too.
That's
That's
not a
the-
bad. It's a pretty good pick. So I'll be damned if I see Mahomes in another Super Bowl. I don't want to see that man in the Super Bowl.
This is the equivalent of seeing Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. At
Look,
this point.
if the Raiders,
the greatest matchup you could get.
if the Raiders don't go to the Super Bowl, I'm on some anyone but Mahomes shit.
But my sleeper picks, I got second picks. There we go.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Mike. My sleeper picks are going to be the Patriots versus the Cowboys.
Oh Lord,
That's his former Patriot fan coming out.
That's exactly what that was.
No. The Patriots have been silently doing pretty well.
I wouldn't call it silent.
I would call it fine.
Patriots fans are out here. Patriots fans are out here.
Oh, well.
Nah, they have been silently doing very well. Like I haven't seen these Patriots.
They have 10 wins. How is that silent?
Exactly.
Because no one's really talking about the Patriots really
because they had a rough December. At around
they lost 3 of their last 4 games.
In Thanksgiving, it was New England versus Tampa in the Super Bowl. New England versus Tampa.
That's true.
I remember those.
And now it's like,
shout out to the Dolphins, who first play of the game for Mac Jones was a pick 6, and I loved every minute of that. Just proved my Mac Jones point a little more.
But my thing is, here's a question for you guys: how confident are you in betting against Bill Belichick in the playoffs?
I'm incredibly confident betting against Bill Belichick when he doesn't have Tom Brady, depending on his matchup.
But a lot of people were confident.
Gets out of this week, it's tough to not pick the Patriots. It is really tough not to pick the Patriots. Very tough, but
they got to get out.
They have to get out of Buffalo. If they get out of Buffalo, I would say they could run the table, but they don't want to run into either Tennessee or Kansas City.
Why wouldn't they want to run into Tennessee?
They can't stop the run.
Stop the run. That's what I was saying before. When we played them, we ran the ball down their throat. The problem was the refs, and we had a couple turnovers. That's what it is.
The Patriots have shown many times this year that they cannot stop the run. Many times this year that they cannot stop the run. And they haven't been able to stop the run in 4 years.
It's my thing.
And if you're Tannehill, you're trying to put your struggles that you've had the last couple weeks away because you got Tractorcito back there again.
I'm not
to just hand the ball.
I'm not trying to be
manned up last week against Houston because it was falling apart. I was sitting here. The rage in me that was growing was unbelievable. And then he made one of the most unbelievable plays I've ever seen when we had to have it on 3rd down.
Yep. I'll give you that.
I'm
also a noted Tannehill hater, but when it comes to the playoffs, I don't want Tannehill throwing that ball. I want Derrick Henry running that fucking football.
Here's my thing though. Just real quick. Shout out to Texas. Like Texas fans have something to look forward to next year. Davis Mills is a baller.
He can play.
I think they got their quarterback.
He showed them something.
I think they got their quarterback.
But he's worth giving another shot.
He's definitely worth coming into camp.
Shout out to David Culley. The Texans head coach has done a fantastic job.
They were playing hard.
Dog shit that they had.
Danny Amendola, 37 years old.
Sitting here cursing his name like it was 2015.
Yo, he put up the same win total that they put up last year with Deshaun Watson. Like, that's crazy. And they have significantly less talent on this team than they did last year. Deshaun Watson plays on this team. They arguably have 3 to 4 more wins.
They gained my respect last week because they played that.
And the bullshit was they're saying, oh, we have to reevaluate David Culley as our head coach. No, the fuck you don't.
I better not.
No, the fuck you don't.
He
is a good coach. Those guys will ball for him. Go get him some talent. Go get him something to help. Anything that they could draft at 3 is going to help, as long as it's not quarterback. They cannot go quarterback in the first round because you got to run it back with Mills, see what he gets you. He's either going to turn into this stud who's going to be really good, or he's going to stink and put you in a better position to go get a good quarterback.
Speaking of the draft, who has the number 1 pick in the draft?
Jacksonville Jaguars, back-to-back
Jaguars. Okay, it's the Jaguars. Okay.
Jaguars that beat the Colts.
So they're definitely. I think they're gonna get the top receiver in the draft.
No,
I
they're
think
not.
that.
No,
No,
they're
they're
gonna get that dude from
I think you're
that
both wrong.
defensive player. They're
You're
gonna,
both
they're
wrong.
gonna get. Who you think they're gonna get?
Evan Neal, left tackle, Alabama. They need to protect Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but
They
who's he throwing
need
it
to
to?
protect Trevor. They get DJ Chark back next year. Marvin Jones is very good, and Laquan Treadmill had a great year for the first time since he's been in the NFL.
But
you got a solid group.
That's why I think they go defense.
You go.
Everything
you get
you
Travis
just said
Etienne,
is why they go defense.
but who's
No,
going to
I
protect
mean, no,
Trevor?
I mean, again, because I've been following Jacksonville like that, so I do see where Dylan's coming from with the left tackle.
You need to protect him. You cannot go out another year and not give Trevor Lawrence time.
I would take an O-line over defense. I would prioritize the O-line over
It's
defense.
just the draft. I know we can get into this. I want to do it really quick. The draft could go in so many weird ways. If the Jaguars take Evan Neal, the Lions and the Texans are weird because I don't know where they go. I think the Lions go.
The Lions are gonna do.
I think the Lions go with either Hutchinson or Thibodeau, one of the two edge rushers. But Houston is also weird because I don't know where they go because they both need so much, and if they go best available, it fucks up the Jets. It's like, who knows what happens?
It's weird. I don't know what the Lions are gonna do.
But let's get back to the playoffs.
Playoffs. My Super Bowl pick. I mean, obviously, there's no secret.
I know where you're going on one side.
Actually, it shouldn't be a secret. I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I'm going Tennessee and the Rams. I'm on this Matthew Stafford Rams.
Why are you so high on the Rams though? Like, Tennessee, I understand. The Rams, I just don't understand that.
I don't know.
If the Rams have to run into the Niners at any point, they're fucked. The Rams, the Niners own the Rams.
I don't think they want to play the Rams. The Niners.
But they own the Cardinals. So
I'm very confident they're going to beat the Cardinals.
I don't see the Rams beating the Cardinals, man. That's the thing. Like, I just don't see this Rams stuff you see. I see the Cardinals beating them in a close game. Like, that's my thing. Like, personally,
I think that game's going to be a shootout. I don't think that's.
Because remember,
that's going to be one of those high-scoring games.
Remember, Hopkins went down with a knee injury, and he's supposed to be back for the playoffs. So they're getting Hopkins back.
He's in game streak though,
and he's got to go against Ramsey every
Listen, 70% of Hopkins
is not better than 100% of Jalen Ramsey.
Exactly.
But yeah, acting like Murray ain't got other weapons though.
He does have other weapons, but if you could keep Hopkins out of the game, and you have a great pass rush where Aaron Donald eats, and then you have Von Miller on the other side, so they're going to make Kyler Murray run.
And I love how Kyler Murray was talking after the game. I loved hearing him talk like that. But I just don't think this is the year. I think they need another year. Just like I think Cincinnati just needs one more year. But
it's just that's not a good matchup for them in the first round. Like, if they would have matched up with any other team, I might pick them.
If the Cardinals were playing the Cowboys, give me the Cardinals plus 10. But they're not. Even if they were playing Tampa Bay, I'd be very intrigued by that game.
Yeah.
I'd be very intrigued with the Cardinals in Tampa, but they drew the Rams. They caught the Rams, so it is what it is. I picked the Cowboys. Tampa's going to win, but I got my 8 points.
That 8.5 against Philly, man.
That zero sugar ginger ale tasting real good right now.
I'm actually going to surprise you, and only because I hate picking every home team because it happens every year. So I think the Raiders are the one that's going to get the road win. I think it will be them. I don't see New England winning. I think Buffalo is looking forward to this, and obviously,
Steelers ain't beat Kansas City.
Watch the Steelers mess around and put
them in out behind the barn and put them down.
Yeller.
Like I said though, Anthony, if that game is within one score with 3 minutes to go and Pittsburgh has the ball, Kansas City's in trouble.
Yep.
They're in trouble.
You just never know about the NFL because it's like
you'll get vintage Ben at that moment.
It's so comfortable to sit here and say the Steelers are going to get their backs blown out, and like you see the memes online. I already saw like 7 of them, but you never know what the NFL sometimes.
I think
the NFL is just weird.
I think that game's going to be close because of how badly Kansas City beat them the first time. I can't see a Mike Tomlin team getting the backs
Yeah.
blown in twice. I can't see it. They might lose, but they're not gonna go out like that twice.
Yeah. Don't be like us. get destroyed. Watch film. Get destroyed even harder. Jesus.
So
Then people wondering why we didn't watch the time.
Side note. Oh, let's bring this down. Side note for our listeners, we're gonna have all of our picks. It will be posted to our Instagram page. So Roz is not here tonight, but I will have his picks and it will be up on the Instagram page. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Roz. He hit me up. I knew he wasn't gonna be here tonight, but
Raz.
Shout out to Roz.
But yeah, so I mean that's it for the NFL. I mean,
Well, I haven't given mine.
Oh yeah, Dylan has to give it.
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, Dylan hasn't gone yet.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I haven't gone yet. My Super Bowl is the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? I think the Cowboys can do it. I think the Cowboys can do it. I really do. I think they have the best defensive player in the NFC side of football, or on the NFC side, they have the best defensive player. I think Micah Parsons is going to give every team that they play fits. I don't think Trayvon Diggs gets exposed in these playoffs. I think he has a strong playoff.
Prescott will.
Don't shit on Dak, man. Scott Prescott.
Listen, Dakota is that guy, man.
Prescott.
He's had a very unremarkable year.
The only thing that I say will hold the Cowboys back is going to be Kellen Moore. If he comes out with some bullshit play calling, it's going to be
55 times.
Run the ball with Zeke, run the ball with Pollard, and play solid defense. Old school smash mouth football is what's going to advance you in these playoffs. And that's exactly what they need to do.
So you're saying that the Cowboys are, because they would face Tom Brady if they beat the 49ers, right? They would go to Tampa.
Yep. And Dallas can absolutely beat Tampa.
Like they did in week 1.
They played great against a healthy Tampa team, except for the secondary. Now, that Tampa team has less weapons than they did week 1. They're down.
Tom Brady's won Super Bowls with equal or even less than talent.
Great.
We're
Thanks
talking
for pointing
Brady
that out,
there, Dylan.
but I don't care.
You should care.
I don't. They're down Chris Godwin. They're down Antonio Brown. They're down Leonard Fournette.
Okay. They got Evans and Gronk.
They have Evans, Gronk. Great. They have Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard. Neither one. O.J. Howard and Tom Brady still don't know how to work together. Le'Veon Bell, Giovanni Bernard. I'm okay on that, right?
But you're forgetting one thing, Dylan. Brady makes superstars out of unknown talent.
Great. He's never made a superstar out of unknown talent. Name me one superstar he made. And don't say Julian Edelman because he's not a superstar.
Yeah, that was my.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
No, the fuck he's not. No, the fuck he's not.
The Hall of Fame.
I was going to say Julian Edelman.
No, he's not.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
The secondary in Tampa's still got to get in game shape. They only just came back week 17. They still have to play.
They got a week.
And it doesn't take that. It takes longer than that to get into game shape.
And they're facing Jalen Hurts. That's like another week. So, I mean,
do not shit on that shit on the Eagles receiving core. Don't shit on Devontae Smith.
Good.
Do not shit on Devonta.
I'm not. Did I say Smith's name?
Because Devontae Smith is going to eat.
How's it going to heat when Hurts misses like every other pass?
I agree. He's not great, but Hurts will also be running the ball. But I'll take Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Pollard, Zeke against whatever defense Tampa's putting out right now because they're not putting out great defense.
But there is a thing, though. The thing is the Cowboys have been looking good on paper all year. And I thought the same. I thought the same thing on the Cowboys as a lot of people thought. Oh my God, they have all these weapons. How is that translated into the season? Not that great.
They're the third seed in the playoff.
Okay, the third
That's
seed
how
in
it's
the playoff.
translated. That's literally how it's translated.
First off,
and they played competitive football against all of these teams that are ahead of them. So, I don't understand.
Who do they beat, Dylan?
All right, let's pull up the fucking Cowboy schedule here. Jesus Christ.
I just want to know who.
While you're doing that, Dylan, I will say that Tom Brady made a star out of Troy Brown. also, and the guy that
So-
went to Miami that
And also, Dylan,
and
don't
Chris Hogan.
don't don't forget that one year when the Patriots literally had no receivers and Brady still went 12-4,
I
and
understand.
literally took them a series within the Super Bowl.
But here's
Took
what
a-
I'm not going to let you do, right?
What?
I'm not going to let you sit here and act like Tom Brady has done everything by himself when it's a 53-man roster, 11 on 11, and Brady has always had a great defense. I will not let you do that. So I will give Brady all the credit in the world for being the greatest quarterback to ever play, but I will not discredit any of those Belichick defenses because those also came up huge.
I'm also going to disqualify myself from this argument because I'm giving Tom Brady too much credit and I hate his guts.
I hate his guts too. I hate him just as much as y'all do. Right? I'm pretty sure no one in this group likes Tom Brady, but to sit here and say that
look at him sit up. Look at him sit up instantly. How dare
to
you
sit here
talk about the great Tom Brady?
well, first off, he's the second greatest quarterback of all time. But anyways,
Who's the first?
you've already heard me say it a billion times, Dylan. The man up in Green
He
Bay.
had to Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not capable of you anymore, Anthony. You're a fucking-
Aaron
Hold on,
Rodgers.
before we continue and read off who the Cowboys have beaten and who they lost to, I will not say the greatest quarterback of all time is a guy who literally has only gotten an NFC Championship game one time.
Don't care what the hell
And if
you
you
say.
take winning out of the argument, Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback of all
You
time.
gotta qualify.
He's the greatest regular season quarterback.
I said if you take winning out of it, he changed the game for quarterbacks. All right, so
Honestly, for me, it's John Elway, but
I'll give you that. But yeah, so week 1, Cowboys lose by 2 points to the Bucks. Then they go and beat the Chargers. They beat the Eagles, who are a playoff team. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Giants. They beat the Patriots, who are a playoff team. They beat the Vikings. They lost to the Broncos. They beat the shit out of the Falcons. Lost to the Chiefs. Lost to the Raiders. Beat the Saints. Beat football team. Beat the Giants. Beat football team. Lost to the Cardinals. Beat the shit out of the Eagles.
There's my point right there. They have one
I'll give you that.
impressive win. They have
They
one
got an
impressive
okay
win.
resume. Yeah,
They got an okay resume,
resume.
but
that is
I'm
a
going
mediocre
with.
resume. It's very average.
Let me go read off the fucking Raiders schedule and talk about mediocre fucking
Please,
resume.
do that right now. Please do that right now.
That Cowboys loss to the Raiders. That
That's a
hurt
tough
my
one.
gut.
That's
when
a tough
when
one.
you said that, I was like, oh.
That's when I realized I fucked up. I'm still picking the Cowboys.
Because
I
my
think the
thing is, it's
Cowboys
like
got it.
we've seen how good they look on paper, but it has not translated onto the field. It has
They
not.
still got 12 wins, and like I said,
12
if
wins?
Kellen Moore,
They got 12 wins.
yes,
Look
Really?
at their division, Anthony.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
they
right.
have 12 wins.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not. There's no shame in my game. Tennessee got 12 wins because we got to play Jacksonville. We beat up on the Colts.
No, but you guys have had a tough schedule. Y'all ran through some of these tough teams.
Our strength of schedule, like I said, it bothers me that no one talks about us when we've literally beaten every single team in.
You guys don't have the firepower some of the other.
Except
You guys don't have the
Cincinnati
firepower.
and Oakland, but Las Vegas.
Yeah, we got that ass beat by like a drum against us.
Yes.
Like, you set yourself up
It
for
was
that.
coming.
You
There's
set
nothing you
yourself
can do
up.
about that.
I gotta do it every week.
You set yourself up for that.
Every week. Got that ass beat like a drum.
No, Mike, I'm sorry, but I don't see the Titans winning the division.
They won the division.
We did win the division.
I'm talking about in the divisional round. Sorry. I don't see them winning their game. I'm sorry. Whoever comes out, whoever they have to face in the
So
divisional round, they will.
it doesn't even matter who we play. We're just losing. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you guys are just losing. I'm not
Wow.
trolling. I'm not trolling. I'm not hating.
Save
I'm
that
just
clip
being-
right there. Save that clip.
I'm just being serious. Because, all right, we lose. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have the Raiders going to the Super Bowl, so that's by default. If the Bengals, let's say the Bengals beat us, y'all not beating the Bengals. Y'all not going to beat them. Y'all not going to beat the Patriots.
They're another team that can't stop the run.
Okay. So,
So
you know that's one element of the game. All right.
I know, but it's a very important element in the playoffs.
It's a very important element when you have the best player at that position on your team.
Exactly. At least
you know why Green Bay beats all these people, right? Because they have the best quarterback in football. That's why Green Bay wins, because they have the best quarterback.
I would give the Raiders and the Bengals like a better game than I would give the Titans and the Bengals, because the Raiders and the Bengals can end up being a shootout. The Titans would ball control the Bengals. Because you guys won't run the ball all game.
No, don't get me wrong. The Titans will be a tough assignment for any team, but I think they're going to be that team this year that, yes, they got the #1 seed, they got the bye week, they lose their division. I just think it's going to be I think the Titans are just going to be that team this year.
I really think the AFC is chalk. I really do. I think it's going to be the 1 and the 2 seed
We're going to have to be Kansas City again.
Are going to be it.
We have to be Kansas City again. That's how I think it. That's how I see it.
They're a
tough.
team.
We got to do it.
That's the hardest team to ball control in football, because they can score so fast.
Let me make a quick edit. You guys will beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a quick edit right there. The Steelers, y'all would run to the Steelers.
They beat Kansas City, they're gonna come into our place hot and ready to go.
And that's a team, hot Steelers, and
we beat the Steelers. They're not
the
that.
Steelers can't stop the run.
They can't stop.
Nope.
They can blitz. They can't stop the run.
The only thing that I think saves the Steelers in a Tennessee matchup is the Titans' defense also isn't great, so it'd be like a fair matchup. Exactly. They're better, but they're not great. But it would be a good game. That would be the best game of all of the Steeler matchups, I think. But I still think the Titans would win. But no, there's not. I don't think there's a world where the Titans and the Chiefs don't meet up. And the one thing that saves the Titans is it's not an Arrowhead.
It's in Tennessee. And
if it was an Arrowhead, I would say there is zero chance.
I'm sorry, you're gonna
have a home field advantage.
You're gonna have to edit this, but what the fuck does that mean? And Mike wholeheartedly disagree with your ass. Home field advantage? When the freak did the Titans have a home field advantage? Have you seen that crowd?
Go check our home record for the last 5 years. Go check it.
That's the only thing I think saves the Titans in a matchup against the Chiefs.
That's why it was so important for us to get the 1 seed, because we have a strong home field.
If they had to go to Kansas City,
but when I'm thinking of home, y'all not winning because of home field advantage. Y'all win because y'all a really good team. Y'all don't have fans like that. Y'all ain't loud like that.
In the Music City? Are you serious?
No. Y'all not winning because y'all packing the stadium with fans. All right? Go back and replay all them Titans home games. That's a lot of the other teams in y'all stadiums. All right?
Let's show me.
And if you're take a look at the Titans playoffs last 3 years. Hold on. And if you're talking about the Chiefs going to Tennessee, that stadium will be loaded with Kansas City fans. Tell me I'm wrong.
So just because
Chiefs fans don't travel.
Just because Chiefs fans travel, but just because
they travel.
Just because your Raiders can't sell out their own stadium and the Chiefs overwhelm your stadium doesn't mean that that's going to happen here to Tennessee. That doesn't work down here.
But again, with the Chiefs,
we have fans. Just letting you know.
Shots fired.
Fans. The AFC is basically going to run through Arrowhead because you guys are not winning that divisional game. Whoever y'all face, I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Anthony, you got a lot of strong predictions, and I like it.
Cloud
I like
9.
It. I love your 49ers pick. I absolutely love your 49ers pick. Not for me talking shit about it. I actually think that's a really solid pick because they can fuck up a lot of teams that they play. And I like this Tennessee take. I personally don't agree with it, but I like it.
I think what's more likely to happen is the Tennessee take.
I hope the Raiders and the Titans end up playing each other.
Dylan, nothing would make you. We at this point. Well, no, I want.
I got a lot more than some Zero Sugar Ginger up now.
We have real goals, but
y'all need to be in the same place if that game happens.
Oh,
what needs
I'm getting a lot more than.
For Tennessee and the Raiders to play.
The Raiders have to win, and the Bills have to win.
Yeah, the Bills and the Chiefs have to win.
The Bills and
the Bills have to win.
Because the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, the Chiefs are going to.
The Bills, the Raiders, and the Chiefs have to win in order for the Raiders to meet the Titans. which it's not far fetched for any of that to happen.
It's not far fetched at all.
It's actually what I picked to happen. It's actually exactly what.
But then who wins between the Bills and the Chiefs?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Main event game.
No,
though.
give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
You know
The
what I'm
Chiefs?
saying?
Well, obviously, I have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I have the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. So I need the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Man, if Buffalo's defense comes to play, man, that's going to be a game.
Well, they also don't have their number one corner. And that's a tough one against Kansas City because you have to take Tyreek away.
You have to.
You have to.
And
Levi Wallace ain't doing that. Levi Wallace is not doing that. But they have great safety play. So we'll see how that goes.
Somebody please get rid of Pat. I just hate that.
I love Pat Mahomes, man.
I love
Pat Mahomes.
My homeboy.
My homeboy.
I hate that.
I mean, he broke my heart a couple years ago in the AFC Championship game with an unbelievable run that I still don't know.
It's hard to hate him.
It's very easy to hate that.
This must be what it feels like to root for Tom Brady. Like, this is what it must feel like
I really
to root for Tom
fucking
Brady.
hate that man. I hate that team. Just fucking hate it.
So, before we move on, Anthony, I have questions about the Raiders now.
What?
Do you think you guys should move forward with Derek Carr as your quarterback for the next 5 years?
Yes. He has shown me that he is our franchise quarterback.
And okay, I'll give you that.
If we stumbled like past years, I would say no. But because we made this turnaround, I say yes.
Now, who do you want for your head coach? Because there's a couple names I hear floating around.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think we stay with Rich Bisaccia.
You really think Fiscascia Bread is your coach?
He's the first coach, and I forgot how many years, to bring a team to the playoffs.
Do you think you would have been in the playoffs if you still had Gruden?
No.
Really?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I was never that big a fan of Gruden as other people in Raiders Nation.
I think y'all would have won the division if y'all.
I was saying me too. If y'all kept Gruden, I think you guys would have won the division.
Gruden's a lot of hype. He's too much hype for me.
Gruden finally got all his guys in, and y'all were looking crazy.
At the beginning of the year,
Gruden was making all the busts that he picked in the last 3 years look like they could play competitive football.
And then what happened?
Henry Ruggs killed a girl.
And what? No, I know he did. I know he did that. But I mean, what happened? I'm talking about. Let's keep it on the field. What happened?
I mean,
found out Raiden was sexist and racist.
And Ruggs killed a girl.
Ruggs killed a girl.
Okay.
And then
we started losing.
And then you had another DUI and Damon Arnett, and then you had another DUI like last week. Like, there's a lot of things that went wrong for your organization.
I think we had
that
another
should have
DUI.
kept you out. But, like, I definitely think Gruden was a better coach than Fiscascia Bread. But I don't think he gets a chance. I don't think he has a chance. Even if y'all make a run, he's done. He was a one. He stays on as coordinator.
Well, my thing is, I'm not on this Jim Harbaugh bandwagon.
I think he'd be perfect. I think he'd be a perfect head coach for y'all. I think him or Brian Flores.
I think Harbaugh's a college. I think Harbaugh's a college.
Harbaugh was a better NFL coach than he was in college.
I think he's a college coach. I don't think his shenanigans work in the NFL. He was already starting to flame out in San Francisco, though.
He only flamed out in San Francisco because that was literally the time where Cap was doing his thing and the NFL didn't know how to react. He didn't know how to react. Him and the organization were bumping heads because they didn't know how to move forward. They traded for Jimmy G. Jimmy G played like shit. Kaepernick was playing better, and then they didn't know what to do. So the only logical thing you could do was just fire Jim Harbaugh. And we can't forget the defenses that he took, and him taking Kaepernick after having Alex Smith, benching Alex Smith, getting him the fuck out of there, taking Cap and making a run, and they were a pass interference call away from winning that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Very close to the Super Bowl. Very close.
If they called a PI on that Michael Crabtree play in the end zone, they win that Super Bowl.
If Beyonce doesn't shut the stadium down, they might win the Super Bowl.
But like we can't. Like Jim Harbaugh was a good NFL coach. Like I think him and Brian Flores in Vegas are my options. Those are the guys that I want.
Listen, I already said earlier, if I'm the Giants, I'm throwing everything to get Brian Flores in. Well, because the Dolphins getting rid of him is that is exactly what loser franchises do. That's when you have bad culture, when you do stuff like that. That's why the Lions are in the hell that they're in, because they got rid of Jim Caldwell for no reason.
No reason. But they got their guy now. They got their guy.
They got him now. They got
their guy.
But like,
he is the heartbeat of that city.
You have the Texans who keep Bill O'Brien for, I don't know why they kept him as long as they did.
The worst GM head coach I've ever seen.
This is what losing franchises do, and the Dolphins have proven that that's what they are. They're a losing
Dolphins
franchise.
Literally fired him because they had no one else to blame. Because their GM is terrible.
I don't know what they want. Like, did they think they was going to win the Super Bowl? Do they think are they mad because New England had a better year than them? Like, I don't know. To be
fair, they should have had the year that New England had is the year the Dolphins should have had.
It's the year the Dolphins thought they were going to have, but
they should have had that.
It didn't happen.
But again, I understand why they did it. I just don't agree with it. I wouldn't have fired Flores yet. I was asking my brother last month. I was like, "Do you think Flores is on the hot seat?" And he was like, I don't think there's any way they get rid of him. I was like, I feel like there's a way they get rid of him. There's something about this season that just seems weird, where it's like the Dolphins are going to finish like in a weird schedule. They win the last game of the year, which normally saves a head coach's job. Like that win should have saved his job if he was
should have saved his job.
Like this is like Rex Ryan in the Jets beating the Dolphins the year before Rex Ryan got fired, and like that win saved his job. Like I don't understand. I get why they did it, because I given a bunch of reasons why I thought he should have been on the hot seat, because of the mismanagement of Tua and having all this talent on their defense and not being able to like be better ranked defense than they are. But like you shouldn't have gotten rid of him.
How do you mismanage Tua? Tua was in and out of the lineup with injuries, and
not his first year.
But towards the end of the year, this year, he looked like he was starting to develop. Like
I don't know about that.
Did he look better than he did his rookie year?
Not by much. He didn't take the step that he needed to take. But I also blame his first season for that. Because you were swapping out quarterbacks like it was a fucking pitcher in the 6th inning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the mismanagement of Tua comes in. And again, you have all this talent on defense. You should be a higher ranked defense. You should have more takeaways, more stops. They have Jerome Baker, Byron Jones, Xavier Howard. They drafted homeboy from Miami to rush the edge. Like they have a good defense, and you couldn't do anything. And then you have you have a good receiver group. And granted, they were hurt with injuries and they have Gesicki, but like Tua should have played better than what he was. And like I said before we even started, the fact that they let the Jets into those 2 games that we played shows how bad Tua actually is, because he gave that game away to us and we just didn't have anybody healthy to take the win.
I just don't understand how can you do much better than Brian did with that group? Like
they live up to the standards that defense, that the talent has. That's kind of it. Like you don't have a 7-game losing streak and a 7-game winning streak in the same season.
It's inconsistency.
It's super inconsistent. Like why couldn't you have won 2 more games and saved your job? That's literally, if he would have won 2 more games, his job's saved.
They'd be in the playoffs. Anthony would be home right now.
I am home.
But like, there's no way. The fact that the Dolphins had those 2 things probably are the reason why the organization was like,
yeah. And actually, thank you, Mike and your Titans for making that possible for us.
Yeah, we in a roundabout way got him fired, because apparently it was that loss to Tennessee that made me be like, oh, he got to go.
Yeah,
that knocked you out the playoffs.
The fact that they couldn't beat the Titans, but we beat the Titans' ass like a drum, literally cost Brian Flores his job.
It wasn't just the fact that they lost; they got demolished.
They got destroyed.
They got
destroyed. That game cost me $500 in my fantasy football championship game, because Tua couldn't be average. He just couldn't be an average quarterback.
No, but that defense was just non-existent.
We sucked though. We suck.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But Black Monday, we saw Flores get fired. Joe Judge got fired today.
Thank God.
Good, because he's an asshole and deserved to be fired.
And I think the Giants actually did. I personally think the Giants want to keep him, but I just think, like I said, the backlash was just too much.
Well, the ownership wanted to keep him. Wanted to keep him, but you cannot keep him after the shit that he was doing and saying in these press conferences, and then you go out in Chicago and you're down 14-0 in the first 5 minutes of the game. And then on 3rd and 9,
3rd and 9, you run a quarterback sneak. What the hell are you? Go home. Go home. Go home.
The single worst play call I've ever seen in my life.
You're literally have Saquon Barkley behind you, and you run that.
There is no way that you make that play call and you're the head coach. And you're the head coach. You gave the okay.
Justify it. Come on.
You gave that play the okay. You don't step in and say fucking no. Like, let's actually go for the first down. He was getting booed out of the stadium on Sunday. Like, there's no reason. Again, the Giants also have talent on their roster. The Giants have talent on their roster. There's no way with the talent you have on your roster, you cannot at least try to get 9 yards. You go and say, fuck it, let's QB sneak it. No way. No way.
And that was the thing. There was the report that said the Giants players actually wanted him gone. Like, the team.
Because they know. They know. They're there. What did Zimmer say when they asked him about the backup quarterback? No, I see him every day. The players see Joe Judge every day. They know.
Yeah.
They know.
This was almost as bad of a situation as the Urban Meyer situation.
Yeah.
I said almost. It wasn't as public, but I would love to see a 30 for 30 on this Giants team.
I would equate.
That's a comedy special, bro.
To Adam Gase. I would equate this.
Nope.
Because they seem like they hate him.
Nope. Never. Adam Gase was the worst. Adam Gase would be on the sidelines by himself, looking at over plays that Sam Darnold threw an interception on by himself, not talking to any of the quarterbacks or the players, by himself. Like, there was nothing. Everybody hated Adam Gase, and it was known that everybody hated Adam Gase. Joe Judge was trying to put on a front that, like, they loved him. Everybody knew Adam Gase was hated. Everybody hated him. So I'll take that away. But man, Joe Judge is a fucking joke. This just shows that how shitty the Belichick coaching tree actually is. It's fucking terrible. And I hate that Vrabel is considered to be under the Belichick coaching tree, even though he's like not.
He's not. He was a player.
He was a player.
He
brought his own culture to Tennessee, and I thought that was a great hire when that happened.
Speaking of coaches for a second. Now, even though I did say you guys are not going to win your divisional game, and I still stand by that, I do believe that Mike Vrabel should be coach of the year.
100%. Mike Vrabel better win coach.
What he's done with the Tennessee Titans.
The only other coach you could say deserves to win coach of the year is Zach Stacy. Not Zach Stacy. Whatever the fuck his name is in
Cincinnati. Yeah, I would give you that.
He's the only other one I could say deserves it.
Has to be coach of the year. We've had unbelievable amount of injuries. We've had more starting lineups than almost any team in football. And yet here we are, the number 1 seed. And still, we have people like Anthony that just think we suck. And it just we're just here.
Normally I'd say y'all suck.
I did not say y'all suck.
Normally, I'd say any team that got their ass beat like a drum by the Jets doesn't deserve to win Coach of the Year, but they both lost to the Jets, so I can't even say anything.
I did not say y'all suck. I just said y'all.
You said that we can't beat anybody on the AFC side of the bracket.
I didn't say. Oh, hard. I didn't say y'all.
You did
beat
say
them. I just say y'all not going to beat. This is different.
That literally means the same thing.
No, it doesn't. All right. If you're saying you can't beat them, that's me saying the Titans are incapable of beating any of those teams. They're capable of beating any team in the AFC. I just think they won't do it. I just don't.
There go. You're saying that we're trash.
I never said y'all going to get blown out. It's going to be a close game. Whoever y'all face, if y'all lose, it's going to be a very close game. I just don't think y'all going to win.
Hater.
Point blank, period. And I think that's going to happen. That's more likely to happen in San Francisco going to the Super Bowl.
Vic Fangio got fired.
I was okay with that. I might have given him one more year.
I think he could have got one more year.
Screw that bum.
Because when you step back and look at it,
hey,
fuck the dog.
He overachieved.
If we didn't have this extra, he did overachieve. If we didn't have this extra game, they would have been a 500 team.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's like I surely didn't think that the Broncos was a 500 team. So
No.
And that defense is pretty good.
That defense got rid of Von Miller.
And got better.
And they had crazy injuries in their secondary. That Broncos team in like 2 years, as long as they get a quarterback, is going to be a problem.
It's scary. The Broncos are a quarterback away.
They're the only team. Them and I think the Panthers are both a quarterback away.
The Saints are a quarterback away. The Saints are a quarterback away because they're going to get Michael Thomas back next year. The Saints are a quarterback away.
The Saints, there's three. Okay, so the Broncos.
Stop the slant.
The Panthers, slant boy. Broncos, Panthers, and Saints are both one quarterback away from being serious.
Saints are a quarterback away from what?
Being a contender.
Yeah, Super Bowl contender.
They have the defense and they have the weapons on offense.
Okay, so if Brady comes back next year, the Saints are still contenders.
They could still be. You could be a contender without being the best team in football. You could still be that. You could still be a contender by being in the wild card.
The Niners are contenders.
Well, when I say contenders, I'm talking about Super Bowl contenders. That's what I'm talking about.
It could happen. Any of these teams that are in the playoffs right now
with Brady
anyone that's in the tournament right now can win the Super Bowl.
Remember, the Giants should have won the Super Bowl.
Yes, they can.
They could.
Yes, they could.
On the back of their defense. I've seen worse quarterbacks win Super Bowls.
I damn sure have seen worse quarterbacks.
I've seen worse quarterbacks win Super Bowls.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah,
yes.
Literally.
But
I would say that Ben Roethlisberger is playing better right now than Peyton Manning did when they won in Denver. He's playing better.
That quarterback, he was terrible.
Peyton was done. His arm was
cooked.
Nothing.
Cooked.
It was nothing.
It was absolutely.
The Saints are literally a quarterback away from like what happened this year. Let me see the standings really quick for the NFC.
The Saints missed the playoffs by one game, but the Saints with Jameis Winston looked like they were going to win the division. They looked good
after 2 weeks,
but they were looking good, and then
Jameis
got hurt, and then Kamara got hurt. So once them two went down, that was the end of their season, and they still almost made the playoffs.
If any of those three teams get Russell Wilson, it's a wrap.
If the Saints get Russell Wilson, you can forget it. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Because they have the defense to do it.
No, don't put that picture in my head.
And if Russell Wilson were to go to Denver, it's also a wrap.
Well, it's all about what Sierra wants, So he has to consult with
There's
Sierra.
3 teams that he said he would give up for, and it was Denver, it was New Orleans, and it was New York.
He wants to come to the Giants for some reason.
Why?
The Giants ownership has always been good. This is the first time
the Giants are respected around the league.
This is a good job to go to as a head coach. Like, your owner is going to take care of you. This is the first time in like my lifetime where the Giants have been a shit show.
Yeah.
It's always been the Jets. The Jets have literally always been the shit show. But the Giants are finally in the situation where the Jets are going this way and the Giants are going this way. But the Giants is a good job to have because you're going to get the support of your organization. So, if they get a good coach, because Harbaugh is also on the list for them and Flores is also on the list for them. And both of those guys would change the culture of that team.
Yep.
And that's what they need. Nope. James back.
James is back and he's laughing.
Did anybody besides me and Anthony watch the national championship game yesterday?
Anthony watched it? I watched it.
Not Anthony, I mean you.
No, I didn't watch that shit.
You missed a great game.
You missed a really good game.
I don't watch college football, man.
It's the exact same game.
Yeah.
It's the same game. It's football.
Shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia Bulldogs.
And Uga, the mascot.
Dylan, get ready for a James rant.
Play the tape right here because Dylan, Mike, Roz, I'm gonna throw you in there too, Anthony, even though you didn't say a damn thing because I'm not fucking with you tonight. You guys were all against Georgia doing anything. Dylan said literally 4 times in a row Georgia doesn't have it in them to beat Alabama.
Well, I said also that I would love to see Georgia win, but I don't think it happens. And it happened because even though they won, Georgia's quarterback stinks. He is not great. He is not a good quarterback.
He made some big boy throws last night.
He made big boy throws, but Jamison Williams tearing his ACL changed that
Change the
game.
game.
Changed that game. And you can never predict that. And both of those defenses were balling.
Oh,
Balling.
Hey, Mike, hashtag Roz. He played.
He played. It doesn't matter.
Played.
He played in the game.
He
so
played.
Injuries don't
You
impact
ask
the
those
game.
fans if they got a chance to see their one of their favorite players play. He played.
Jamison
Now,
Williams is literally going to be a top 10 draft pick.
You think he's still, is he a senior? I know.
I think he goes back.
Hashtag can't shoot the messenger here. It doesn't matter if he got injured after the 1 minute mark, the 2 minute mark, the 10-minute mark, the 20-minute mark.
Me down about it.
If Jamison Williams plays, that game is maybe a little different. Like you maybe see Alabama win that game.
It might be different because we don't know the coverages, and it changed that
you
game
literally did
because
have
Georgia
the best
started
receiver in the
saying,
nation.
"Oh fuck that, we're just coming to kill Bryce Young now." That's literally what Georgia decided to do. Why Alabama just forgot to run the ball, I'll never know. But again, that's Bill O'Brien. So again, there you go. But it was a great game.
It was a great game up until the end, where they everything just all hell broke loose.
Once the dam broke, it broke. Once the dam broke,
yo, I'm telling you right now, like it's a good thing in college the pass interference penalty is only 15 yards because that fucking corner saved his ass by doing that.
But it was a smart play because he was burnt. He was burnt and he knew it, and he just tackled him. He said,
Saban was going to say, "You're fucking out of here."
We'll take.
But then he got killed in the end zone anyway.
I know it didn't matter. Ball don't lie.
Got killed in the end zone anyway.
Ball don't lie.
Like them losing the best one of the best wide receivers in the nation in that game sucked for Bryce Young. Because he was lost.
Not to mention they already were missing their other best receiver.
Like he was looking lost once that happened. And they could have easily just used their running backs all game and just relied on their defense. And they just couldn't do it. Shout out to Nakobe Dean, who had a Alabama championship hat on.
He caught it, though.
Yep.
He caught it. He was like, wait a minute.
Future Jet Nakobe Dean.
Quavo celebrate with them?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Everybody from Atlanta seemingly was at the game.
God, well, that was their first house since 86?
I just remember seeing Quavo.
1980.
1980. That just shows the chokehold that Saban has had on college football for the last decade. He's the greatest head coach ever.
Georgia has been good for the last decade.
They've been great. They've been great for the last decade. And it's just Saban has just been unbelievable. And it sucks to see like a couple, like not even does it suck because it's great to see Saban lose, but like the only teams that have beaten him have been unbelievable teams.
Yeah.
That like you can't deny.
LSU with the greatest offense ever.
That LSU team is my favorite college football team of all time.
Clemson with Deshaun Watson. Clemson with Trevor Lawrence. Like, that's the only time. And this Georgia defense stat is just
unbelievable.
It feels like everyone on their front seven is going to be in the NFL.
Nakobe Dean is going to be a New York Jet. He'll be taken with one of our our top 10 picks.
Like
he is unbelievable. Jamison Williams also was going to be a top 10 pick in the draft.
He was.
And now if he enters the draft, he's going to be a 4th rounder. And that sucks.
If I was him, I'd stay.
Go back. I think he has one more year of eligibility. Go back.
If he has another year, I would advise him to come back. But
go back. Don't ruin your bag because he's losing like 10 to 15 mil a year if he decides to declare.
And listen, if them Alabama dudes come back, the Alabama revenge tour next year,
it's gonna be the biggest fuck you tour in a while. It would be like last year. Last year's Alabama team that just ate everybody alive.
Because they lost, and you could feel Alabama knew, we could beat these dudes. We could beat these dudes, but this wasn't our night.
The only the only regret Saban has it's not even his fault is that he can't run it back against that LSU team. Because they definitely felt like they could have ran it up against them.
Mm-hmm. I think they thought they could have beat that team.
which that man, they could had no chance. That Burrow and those Bayou Bengals and those Bayou Tigers. God, I love Joe Burrow.
They wouldn't have beat that LSU team though.
No, there was too much talent everywhere. Everywhere. They had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean it was too much. It was way too much on that LSU team.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Thaddeus Moss.
Way too much. Looking at it now, looking at what they're doing in the NFL, way too much on that LSU team. Way too much. But we will transition. That is it for us for football for this week.
That was a solid hour and a half.
That was
right at the 1 hour 30-minute mark.
We're gonna get into basketball, and once again, we are starting this show with all of y'all giving me and my man R.J. Barrett his goddamn flowers. Put the picture up. Every week, you guys don't get to be in our chat. We argue, I defend R.J. Barrett seemingly every week, every day. RJ sucks this, RJ sucks that. Trade him this way, trade him that way. And for one night, I was vindicated. You see the picture. Mob. What a scene in Madison Square Garden as RJ hits his first game-winning three against the hated Celtics.
What happened that next game?
Evan Fournier hit a couple shots. You know, he had a nice game.
Flowers. 10 3-pointers.
Yeah, you got to give Fournier his flowers, man.
He hit a couple shots.
Flowers.
He
10 threes.
Fix your mic, James. He hit 10 threes. He had 41. Like, RJ's game winner doesn't get to happen if Fournier doesn't have the game.
Yeah, but my thing is like that number's kind of short-lived. We went to Boston, got our backs blown up, man.
Oh, we did. But let me just finish. RJ Barrett's three doesn't need to happen if Fournier could play some defense on Jason Tatum, who was also lighting him up on the other side of the court.
Hey, I just need 16 points a game.
Lighting his ass up.
I just want Fournier to score at least 16 points a game. All right, do that for me. No, I'm good. I don't expect much from him. All right, just give me something. All right, and I'll be good with Fournier.
Well, I'm not saying Fournier is fantastic or not, but like you got to acknowledge the 40-point game.
He had a 40-point game. That was nice.
Like literally, without Fournier doing what he did, that shot doesn't happen.
Listen, I'm begging him for.
And I'm glad that shot happened. I'm glad that shot happened for y'all because that just means his trade value just went up, and you could get better for him.
Let me ask a question. Which picture is better, this or this?
Oh. Kawhi's had more like
Kawhi's is a bigger.
It was
shot.
more important of a shot.
Yeah, Kawhi's is a bigger shot.
Picture.
Better
picture.
Better
give
question.
Kawhi that.
Better question. Which one was a luckier shot? RJ's or Kawhi's?
Kawhi's. The bounces that Kawhi had to get for that ball to go in versus just the bank.
Was kind of
but
RJ wasn't aiming for the backboard.
Exactly.
But
fade
it
into the right.
He was fading to the right.
He's left-handed though. That's why that works.
He's right-handed.
He
shoots left.
Lefty. So that's the way he wanted to do it. That's the way he wanted to do it. But Kawhi's shot to me is a little.
Kawhi's shot literally had to have the basketball gods will that ball in after 3 bounces.
Kawhi's shot is a practice play.
So is RJ.
And he traveled.
He did travel. Low-key.
He did travel.
Yeah,
he did travel.
No.
I've looked at that replay.
You
watch when he gets the ball and he gathers.
He ran. He took his 2 steps.
The gather rule.
You can't take 2 steps before you dribble, even if it's a gather. You can only do it if you already dribbled and picked it up. He literally took 2 steps and then dribbled. That's a travel.
Okay.
But that bounce, it's a practice shot, but it's not a practice 3 bounces.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a shot you want Kawhi to take every single time, but that shot probably shouldn't have gone in.
I mean,
Where RJ's was just him chucking the ball up and hit the glass at the right point.
Bing bong.
Exactly. That goes right back to the point of his shot being, well, whatever. We're arguing tomatoes.
It's exactly that. It's tomato. Like,
well, on a
the
more
ball
positive,
just hit the right spot where the other one just kind of it bounced a couple times and then went in. Like, I just think the bounce is more anticlimactic, or not anticlimactic. It's more like the suspense. Like, the air got sucked out of that building when he made that shot. You get the whole time for Kawhi to crouch down, wait, and then the cyborg shows emotion. Like, I don't know. That moment is one of my favorite moments in the last. Like,
I'm a little more optimistic about the Knicks. We have been playing a little bit better. We just mopped the Spurs the other day too, so we're not. We're right there. We're within that reach of that 8 spot.
I said, well, we should. That Celtics loss hurt because it wiped out the game winner. But I said this was going to happen because the Knicks are finally in their little soft spot of the schedule where they're playing teams that they can beat. So they've got to feast on the Spurs and the Rockets and these bad teams that they're playing right now. This is the time that they got to make their move. Exactly. Build your confidence. Get your shot going. This is the time for that to happen, so that when we play Brooklyn in a couple months, then at least we're better. We're feeling better about ourselves. When we're playing Philly, when we're playing, we feel better.
Shut up, Dylan.
No, that breath was not a y'all can't beat us breath. That was a I need the Nets to play fucking good basketball breath. That was what that was. Because this is the worst I've seen the Nets look in a while.
Yep.
Where it's just like it's bad coaching, it's bad effort, and this is like the bullshit that I fucking hate about this team sometimes. Where it's like, why isn't Bruce Brown playing? Why isn't Bembry playing more consistent minutes? Like, we should have lost that Pacer game last week. We should have absolutely lost that Pacer game where Lance Stevenson was piecing us up. And we couldn't do a damn
Lance
thing.
Stevenson got a contract for the rest of the season. He tore y'all up so bad.
We couldn't do a damn thing. And then all of a sudden, Steve Nash is like, all right, DeAndre Bembry, I guess you have to go and play. And without DeAndre Bembry, we don't win that game because he came out with all the energy that we needed to make defensive stops. And then you have a game like last night where it's like Nick Claxton played 11 minutes. He literally took 3 fouls in the first quarter and like barely played again. Why he didn't play the rest of the game? And he's been playing fantastic as of late too.
I hear you. Simons was tearing y'all up last night.
Simons is going to get CJ McCollum the fuck out of there.
He is going to run.
He's going to get McCollum out of there
because he was tearing y'all up last
He's a bucket.
night.
But again, he's tearing us up. Where is Bruce Brown?
Don't know.
Where was Bruce Brown? Where was Kessler Edwards? Like, where are these young guys who can play defense? Like, granted, I do like that we were playing David Duke Jr. and Day'Ron Sharp more, but like, what are those guys going to do for me? Nothing. What are those guys going to do for me? Blake all of our guys got into foul trouble early. And it's like, even against the Spurs, Kevin Durant took 3 fouls in the first quarter immediately. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is not smart basketball. Like, the Nets in the first half of the season, or up to this point, have been a really good defensive team. We've been
they've been an okay defensive team.
We've been a top 5 defensive team all season. All season. And then they stray away, and they're not playing defense, and they're playing stupid basketball.
They don't pass the eye test with me.
Well, you also don't watch all the Nets games. I do.
I do watch all the Nets games because I have to, because Xfinity doesn't have MSG, so
but anyway,
I have so I have to watch Brooklyn.
But then it's also James Harden's playing like dog shit again.
Listen, I'm just sitting back. I've decided not to collect my flowers on James Harden, but James Harden is doing James Harden things. So,
but he never does it at this point in the season.
Nope. He decided, I'm on a better team. Why don't I start my shenanigans now?
I need Kyrie Irving and James Harden to switch their vaccination status. I've said this so many times because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving play so much better together than James Harden and Kevin Durant do. Like, it's so wild that James Harden sometimes has these games where he's like, I'm just going to go to the basket and nobody's going to fucking stop me. And then the very next game, he's going to be like, I'm going to take 10 threes. I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to drive to the basket. I'm just going to turn over the ball 8 times a game. There's a reason he got booed out of the fucking building against Phoenix. But here comes Kyrie Irving being Kyrie Irving and being
Winner,
exactly what the Nets need.
But see, but this is my point. Now, how does this work? Because he's only going to play on the road. So, like, when he's on the road, you have the full team. But then when you go home, dudes get different minutes and they get different rotation. Like,
The only reason Kyrie Irving is back is because of all the guys that were on 10-day contracts that were ruining continuity.
I know
so it's
that,
like, well, if we're going to ruin continuity, we might as well bring him back.
Here we are. So y'all signed off on it. So
this is exactly so. This needs to happen, right? It's exactly what I said when the rumor of him coming back was. Kyrie Irving will by Christmas. When Kyrie Irving will be playing home games by the end of the season because he's around and he's going to build continuity on these away games where they're going to play great. Not right now, obviously, but one of these away games where he's going to be playing fine basketball and then he's going to get fucking sick and tired of it. And he's like, you know what? I need to be a part of this because if we don't win. And it's exactly what happened in Indiana. James Harden's eating shit, doing his thing. It's like we said when we were watching the fucking Bucks game on Saturday, where it was like James Harden's playing like D'Angelo Russell, and I hated D'Angelo Russell on us because he played with no sense of urgency, and he's out there just kind of dribbling and just fucking throwing the ball away.
The pace,
zero pace. But when Kyrie Irving gets in it, the second Kyrie Irving gets the ball, he's out. He's driving transition, like he's out there trying to get baskets and free throws. And that's exactly what the Nets have been missing all season for the offensive side of the ball.
I'm trying to find out what was Mike's smirk and head nod about.
Because,
what is the told you so?
Because, like Dylan said, we know where this is going to go. We're going to get to the end. Brooklyn is too good. They're going to figure this out. They'll go like this a little bit. And then a little bit, probably right around March, the end of February, March, they're going to hit another rough patch. And you know how the media is, and the world's going to end, and the pressure on Kyrie is going to heap. And then Kyrie's going to go, I think I'm going to get the vaccine now. Everything that I said before.
It's either he's going to get vaccinated or something's going to change where he's able to play. And that's what they're banking on.
Vaccinated.
Like, again, Anthony, you take these regular season losses a little bit more seriously than I do. But, like, basketball at the end of the day is a game of runs, right? And it's exactly how the season goes, too. There's your ups and your downs. And right now is a down, where all season to this point has been up because we've been playing above it. I won't even say above expectation.
I just want one thing from you, Dylan. Can you just admit to me that you guys are not going to beat the Bucks in the playoffs?
I don't think we're going to end up playing the Bucks. So, like, it doesn't even matter. I don't think there's a world in the playoff scenario, unless we drop, we end up playing the Bucks.
Milwaukee keeps winning, though.
Exactly. Milwaukee keeps winning, and if we're a 1-3 seed, as long as we're not the 2 seed, the 2 seed again, we don't face them. So, like, at this point, I don't see it even happening. But that's why I'm not really worried about it also because there were, 30 games in the season? Like, it is what it is. And again, a game of runs, and we're in our rough patch of it. Like, we'll figure it out. Well, eventually we have to play a game in Milwaukee. Like, we can't keep playing games in Brooklyn, right? And then we get to play with maybe James Harden plays basketball. Who fucking knows? But, man, is he close to being dead to me. Very close to being dead to me. I was ready to fucking kill him against Phoenix, but he's slowly approaching DeAndre Jordan dead to me. The more he does like this dumb shit.
I just don't know what happened to him. It's just like he's not dead.
When you look at that West Coast run we had before during Christmas, where we faced the Lakers and we faced the Clippers, and he's just, I'm just going to play a ton of basketball. It's going to be great. And then Kevin Durant's back. He's like, Kevin Durant.
Like much like Russell Westbrook, he's playing like he always plays. It's just on a bigger magnitude.
But James Harden never played like this in the regular season. He usually waits for the playoffs.
Exactly.
But that's also when he's already played like 45 minutes a game every night and didn't miss any games.
That as an excuse.
Exactly.
Well, I'm tired. That's why I'm doing this nonsense.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what. Nets need Kyrie Irving at home games, and the Nets need Joe Harris back bad. Because we don't space the floor well at all. And it sucks. There was a stat number that came out that everybody is literally 20% better at shooting threes when Joe Harris is on the court. Which is crazy.
Painfully obvious, too.
Kevin Durant shoots 38% without Joe Harris. With Joe Harris, he shoots 52%. James Harden shoots like 28%. It's because the focus is on them at the three-point line. They're too busy shifting. Joe Harris is getting better shots, and they're taking less threes. So you make more, you shoot less. So it's like you go from shooting 5 threes a game to you shooting 3 threes a game. Now you're 2 for 3 as opposed to 2 for 5. And now Joe Harris gets to shoot 8 threes a game and shoot 42%. It's just floor spacing. It's just weird.
Doesn't really shoot that high of a clip. He be breaking, yo.
But the last 3
like
years,
that, but then when you look at
2
his
out of the last
numbers,
3 years, he's led the
you
league
look
in
at his
3-point
numbers and
percentage.
It's like, damn, he really be putting it in.
He
there,
literally
man.
shot at like 44.6% last year
Something
from 3.
crazy last year. Yeah,
He led the league in 3-point percentage. It's just in the playoffs he disappeared because now you
I
have
would say,
less
I
to
know
worry
what-
about.
I know what you mean, James. Like,
No, I do too.
You look and it's like this dude is stinking up the joint, but then when you
If
go
you're
and
not
look at his
actively watching
stats-
Nets games and then the only games you see are the playoff games where you don't have the other guys to take the eyes off of Joe Harris, he looks terrible. He looks like he's a fucking bum. But like when Kyrie and James play, Joe Harris is knocking down threes because he's just open.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
Sounds like we're talking about impact, but I'll move on.
So, how likely do you think it is that we get Miles Turner?
Who's we? The Knicks?
Yeah,
Not
It's so
likely.
funny.
we
I don't think it's
campaigned-
likely.
We campaigned for him pretty hard.
I don't think it's likely because I don't know who you would give up that
Give
would
up
make
for
it
him,
worth
like,
it.
Yeah, like I don't.
If
I
you
don't
guys give up
understand that
quickly RJ or Obi in a trade for him, you guys
for
are dumb.
Miles. Exactly.
I
guys
give
are
up. I
Who
would
give
give.
up who?
I give up quickly. For Turner.
But why? But why? But what does he actually bring to the table?
That's
That
gonna
makes
make
him
us
worth
so much better.
Yeah, there's nothing that you no world where Miles Turner comes to New York and all of a sudden he's Patrick Ewing. Like that doesn't happen.
Okay, we ain't saying he's Patrick.
No, I'm
We
not.
ain't
But
going-
like, I'm not. But like,
You,
how much better do
Anthony,
you guys
not
get for
me.
trading with Miles
You.
Turner?
I didn't say nothing about that.
How much better do you guys get if you get Miles Turner? Yet you now have a 3-point center who could.
Well, right now we're 20 and 21. I think with Miles Turner, we'd be at least like 24 and 18.
Plus 2.
We'd be a
plus-
couple games better.
+2, but like Miles Turner as your second best player.
Yeah, I mean,
What does that do?
you get a better Nerlens.
Well,
Noel.
technically,
Like, I think if you're going to be trading for somebody who's like bigger in size, go for Jeremy Grant.
They
'Cause at
are.
least he's a bucket.
But from what I hear, he doesn't want to leave Detroit for some weird
But
reason.
Detroit wants to get rid of him.
And then that goes back to Roz's point where it doesn't matter what the player wants to do.
Exactly. Detroit wants to get rid of him. So, like, Detroit's changing their direction completely.
Yeah.
They just want no money on their books, and they just want to go with these young guys. They want to turn their team into what Toronto is right now,
Yeah,
where it's
but-
nothing but 6'8", 6'10 guys, 1 through 5, who could kill you
Ma-
on the defensive side with length and athleticism.
no, but my thing is though, Miles Turner, he gives us another, not great, but he's a good offensive option. And then again, his rim protection, like, come on, man. Like, we ain't
His
gonna act like
protection's great,
it's
but-
amazing.
but
It's
at his
amazing.
value, what is he? Like, you're paying him a good amount because he has a decent contract on him. Like,
Yeah,
you're
what's
paying
his
him this
contract
money.
again?
I don't know exactly, but he makes money. He's not cheap. He takes up a good chunk of your cap, and you'd have to give up. Well, you'd probably be happy giving up Fournier, but like you have to give up a good amount of money to get that
Because
on there.
here's the thing that he was complaining about his role. All right, he didn't like his role. He felt like he should have been involved more. He's only averaging 13 points a game. He would definitely be a lot more involved with us. And then on top of that, we're getting.
But he
it's
also
debatable.
doesn't have a great offensive skill set.
He doesn't. That's like he's
a
such
spot up
weird
three
player.
shooter who doesn't have a post game though, and he
He
doesn't
would-
shoot the three well.
But
He would fit on the Knicks a little bit more because, like I said,
It gives Randall more spacing.
because it gives Randall more space. But if Miles Turner comes to the Knicks, Julius Randle is still the best player on the Knicks. He's still the
I know,
second
but you're
best
not going to
player.
sit and act like we don't get better with Miles Turner.
But
I'm not
what-
saying.
but-
I'm not saying we're.
It depends on what we.
I
give
don't
up.
think the situation
I'm not saying
for
we're a
Miles
top
Turner
two
is much
team.
different at that point.
What do you
It'll
mean?
be the same situation he'd be in Indiana
That's what I
because the
mean. I
game
don't
is
know
run
why
through the
he-
power forward.
Yeah.
And Sabonis and Randall, their games aren't too different. Sabonis is a better facilitator, obviously, and neither one of them stretch the floor incredibly well. So it's like
Randall's a
he's
better
a little
shooter
bit
than-
better 3-point shooter.
He's a
but
better
like-
shooter than Sabonis is, though.
But at the end of the day, you also have RJ Barrett and Quickly and all these guys who do good with the ball, you're still taking the ball away from Miles Turner. But again, what does Miles Turner really do well on the offensive side of the basketball?
And I mean, not for nothing, like his defensive prowess, that's what we got Mitchell Robinson for.
And he's
honestly.
you have him. Like, I don't think it makes you guys that much better. I think you guys should, if you're going to be making a trade, go get a guy who could go get his bucket.
Jeremy Grant, I would be fine with Jeremy.
Jeremy Grant is a good asset.
I don't know what Detroit wants for him, and like if Detroit's going to start asking for 2-3 players, no.
I think it would be a young player and a draft pick. I don't think they'd give up a ton.
And I might
Cam Reddish.
Now Cam Reddish, I would be around for because unlike Roz, I think Cam Reddish can play.
I think Cam Reddish can play too. Roz hates everybody in that draft class.
He does. And Cam Reddish and RJ were teammates. And I think now, Dylan, cue the conspiracy music right here. I think the Knicks are trying to get the Duke boys together. I think there's a secret.
Oh, and then you guys go get Fat Boy next season?
Yes, I think I think that's what's happening. We get Cam Reddish, then we trade Julius for Zion, then we have Zion, RJ, and Cam, and then we go get a point guard, maybe quickly, and then that's the Knicks team.
Oh no, I know you didn't say that.
That's not great.
The conspiracy music.
That's not great. That's not great.
Zion,
listen,
Zion Williams.
Get Zion in shape. I love it.
In shape is the key word, Mike.
So Philly came out today and said that they're trying to package together Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris.
I saw
That's
that.
wild.
And I was like, who the hell is doing that? Because Tobias Harris makes $1 gazillion.
It'll have to be a 3 or 4 team trade.
Yeah, Kuzma said, who the hell is taking on 86 M's?
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody.
Like,
nobody.
Who's taking all that money? Like, what?
But
Yeah,
I think, but if there's a 3 or 4 team trade, I think the Knicks are involved.
But Tobias Harris,
Tobias is somebody that would help
I would
the
take
Knicks.
Tobias on this Knicks team with Tibbs. I take Tobias Harris.
That's interesting. But what happens if you guys get Ben Simmons instead?
I don't know.
But again,
he said, I don't know.
Because I can't see Ben Simmons and Julius Randle playing together.
I think
don't
Atlanta,
see how that works.
Atlanta and Philly are definitely talking. Where Atlanta gets either Ben Simmons or Tobias Harris, I think Ben Simmons would work perfectly in Atlanta. Give him a point guard like Trae Young, who's just out there to get buckets, and then he gets to facilitate for everybody else. And Clint Capella's been playing awful recently too.
Well, John Collins hasn't been happy.
John Collins is going to be in the trade.
He's going to be. He hasn't been happy with his role in it with the Hawks.
He's overrated to me.
He is.
He's
But
very
John Collins
overrated.
and Cam Reddish would probably be going to Philly. And I think that works out fantastic.
Well, and V's been a one-man record. He's been just...
Well, do not do that to my guy, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is also balling.
Yes,
balling. He's taking that starting
admit,
point guard role and run with it.
James will tell you, I think it was last year or maybe 2 years ago, I was all in on my man Shake Milton. I was all in. But Maxey has come in and said, nah, this is my job. And he is more. There's no argument. He's clearly better. He's clearly better.
Now, if you were to give them a guy like what's his
Shake
face from
might be
Atlanta,
out the door. Shake might
if
be out the door.
if homeboy from Atlanta comes
Shake
in,
Milton.
if Cam Reddish were to come to Philly, they're better. They're already better. And then you get him John Collins. They're already better. Because then you could play him as a stretch 4, or you could put him as a small ball 5 when Embiid is off the court. And then you have a different dynamic.
I don't know if Cam Reddish is better than Tobias Harris yet.
Tobias Harris has sucked.
He hasn't played good.
So
but still,
you
as
bring
a player,
in multiple
I think
guys.
he's better than Cam, though.
Yes, he is. I'll give you that. But you bring in multiple guys who are more willing to really play defense.
That fit, yeah.
I think that makes sense. But then it's like, where does Ben Simmons go in that trade? Ben Simmons to Atlanta, obviously, for me. And then where's Toby?
Just so tired.
Where's Toby going? Who's taking on Tobias's money?
There's got to be another. There's got to be another.
And then it'd be like, all right, who else is involved?
So tired
It's
of
like,
hearing
is
about that.
Portland involved? Is New York involved? Is Boston involved?
I see Portland getting involved.
Because Boston needs to do something too.
Boston needs to do something.
Because Ime Udoka is figuring out what Brad Stevens already knew about this team. The only difference is Brad Stevens was taking responsibility for it. Ime Udoka is challenging the players. And I don't think the players like it. Because I've never been a big fan of Jaylen Brown to begin with, but like you got to get rid of one of them. And you got to get a point guard in.
It's crazy. There's talent on that.
I say get rid of Jaylen Brown.
You have to. I think that's the one because Tatum is clearly offensively the better player of the two. It has the higher offensive ceiling than Brown does. Right?
Jaylen Brown is gonna if they trade Jaylen Brown,
he's gonna turn into Jimmy Butler. He's gonna turn into Jimmy Butler. That's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna trade Jaylen Brown, and he's gonna turn into Jimmy Butler.
But if Jaylen Brown goes, I was listening to one of the basketball podcasts on the Ringer where they're talking about imagine Jaylen Brown goes to Memphis for Dylan Brooks and then like somebody else.
So you know what's funny about
is stupid.
It is
stupid.
But you know what's funny? Memphis will never do that trade because Dylan Brooks is the heart of that team. They would never trade.
But
him.
I think Jaylen Brown would be better.
I agree with you.
Because that forces
never do it.
Because
heart versus talent.
Heart versus talent.
Boston doesn't have a leader on offense, and everybody thinks Jaylen Brown's their leader, but he's not vocal on the leadership side as he is on like the social justice side. So you get Jaylen Brown out of that situation where he doesn't have to be a leader to a team that has a leader in Ja, and all of a sudden, your Jaylen Brown becomes Jimmy Butler is very much so a real thing.
Listen,
but then I think Boston gets better.
Talent-wise, I agree with you 1,000%. But I'm just telling, and Dylan Brooks and Ja are really close. So I just can't see. Everything you said is right, but I can't see Memphis doing it. I just can't see them pulling the trigger because Dylan Brooks is too important to them.
But it's also team. If you make the trade, you're going all in on Ja.
You're all in. If you make
all
that
in
trade,
on Ja.
You're
Ja
all
is
in.
our guy, and we're gonna get him a real number 2.
And if you make that trade, you're not just a playoff team. Maybe we can win a round.
You're a team that can make noise.
You're championship now. You're championship.
I don't know about championship, but you're a team who can make noise.
Yeah, they got to get to the. They got to get to the conference finals.
No, I think depending on their matchup, they can.
That team got to get to the conference.
That puts them in an interesting spot.
They're not conference finals material.
They can be.
Because it's one thing to make that statement, but then you got to kind of fall back for a second and remind yourself who's in the West. All right, they're not conference finals.
That's the goals that they will have.
But that's exactly, that's a team that defensively is just as good as any team in the NBA. And their team that would Golden State, they would give them problems.
Well, you got to look at that.
Rotate.
They were beating Golden State tonight.
And they won. They beat Golden State tonight. Yeah,
they did. They won. Yeah.
All right, but we all know it's a 7-game series. It's a
7-game series with with four guys who could rotate and play defense and switch make things a lot more difficult.
And Ja getting better and better.
Who does Clay have to guard though?
I don't care about. I don't care. I don't care about who they can compete with. Who can they actually beat in a 7-game series? Can they beat the Warriors or the Suns?
You can beat anyone.
They can't beat the Warriors, the Suns, the Jazz.
If you can compete
in a 7-game series,
if you can compete, you can beat anyone.
Can they beat the Warriors, Suns, or the Jazz in a 7-game series?
They can beat the Jazz. They can beat the Jazz.
They can beat the Jazz.
I think they can beat the Jazz. I think the Jazz are the most overrated team in the West.
Yeesh.
I don't know about that.
Donovan Mitchell's been playing out of his
Donovan Mitchell's fantastic. I don't trust anybody else.
Yeesh.
That also comes from my Rudy Gobert hate. That also comes from my Rudy Gobert.
Rudy, but that's a tough one, Dylan. That's a tough one.
It's fine. I know I'm usually on the back end of that, but I do not believe in the Jazz.
Why don't you believe in the Jazz?
I love Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley is literally the most underrated point guard of the last 10 years. Right? I think he's fantastic. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love Joe Ingles. I don't trust them in a 7-game series because when it comes down to it, and you can't play Rudy Gobert at the end of games. We've seen it year after year. A pick and roll switches him onto a guard, and he cannot play defense on a guard like you think. He's a guy who you have to have the defense run toward. You can't have him lead the charge, right? It's always been like that, and that's how he always gets exposed. That's why I hate that he's a Defensive Player of the Year or a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year because for those reasons.
Switch.
He can't switch. If he has to play a Golden State, a Phoenix, even the Lakers, if you have to put him on the Lakers and he's switched out on Russ is blowing by him.
Carving him
Russ
up.
is carving him up. And I don't even think Russell Westbrook is good. Like, I don't think he's talented. But he's a freak of nature athletically, and he will go by him every single time, and he doesn't stand a chance. You put him against the Grizzlies. We saw that series against the Grizzlies last year. Giving him fits.
It took everything Donovan Mitchell had for them to beat them.
Like, if Ja switches, you can't guard him. Gobert cannot guard him. You switch him on Luka. He can't guard Luka.
You can't guard Luka. Nobody can guard Luka.
Nobody can guard Luka.
You put Gobert on the perimeter against anybody, and that's all they would do in the fourth quarter. They would have to switch him out, or they'd have to play a zone. And you cannot play a zone against the West unless you're playing the Lakers against their 3-point shooting. You can't. And even Ja has become a great 3-point shooter.
It's because that kid Bane gives a lot.
Desmond Bane gives them another element of it too, because he plays defense. He's built like a brick shithouse, by the way. He's grown. He's second round pick, has grown and developed into this great player who plays defense and can knock down the 3-point shot. And then you have a 1 through 5 if you do that Jaylen Brown trade. Even if you don't with Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr., you have a 1 through 5 who could shoot the 3. That's why I don't trust Utah. I just don't trust them. They've proven me right every year not to trust them. Now, I don't think this is the year either.
I will agree. I will agree that they have been shaky in recent playoff history. I can definitely agree with that. I don't know. My thing is that I feel like they've just been playing on another level this year. I know that's hard. That's a lot to say, seeing as they play at a high level every single year. But
the only thing that would save them would be Donovan Mitchell taking that Dwayne Wade jump. That would be the only thing that can save them in the playoffs.
I think he's capable of it.
I do too. I thought Donovan Mitchell was Dwayne Wade with a 3-point anyway.
And
or that was
you already, like I said, I truly in my heart believe if Donovan Mitchell doesn't get hurt last year, Utah goes to the finals.
It's fair.
I truly
don't believe it, but that's fair.
Don't see them losing. But
because my thing is, who's coming, like, based off what we've seen right now, who's coming out of the West? Like,
Phoenix,
Golden State.
Well, I mean,
I'm just talking about one team. I ain't talking about contenders.
I don't know.
Good job with the segue, because I would have said Phoenix, and then this guy. Guy.
I'm sorry. Hold on. That picture is very suspect. I'm sorry. That picture just doesn't look right.
Clay is that guy, man.
Laser focus. What are you talking about? Laser
Clay
focus.
is that guy. And he's got the Jackie Moon headband on now, so like he's looking like Will Ferrell from Semi-Pro. Like, he's out here. But man, I love that Klay Thompson's back, because you get to see, like, this Warriors team is ready.
They can't double team Steph no more.
Ready. You couldn't double team Steph even when you were double teaming.
I know you couldn't double team him anyway.
Like, granted, Steph is in a slump right now and he's not playing like great basketball, but like, you still got to worry about him. Now you just get like Klay's back. And I really wanted Klay to go nuclear. I wanted Klay to have another like 60-point game where Steve Kerr was just going to bench him and cost me another guy who could break the scoring record or something, because Steve Kerr likes to do that to me. Like, but man, I'm just happy he's back. I'm just happy he's back. And even
the NBA is a better place with Klay Thompson.
Over the last week, getting two of the best players in the world back, and Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson, is the best thing for basketball. To have those guys playing, because both of them are on pitch counts. But man, Kyrie coming back in his 30 minutes and putting up a solid 22, and then even last night against Portland, the Nets aren't in that tough game if Kyrie Irving's not playing or playing well. And he has come out and he's been everything I needed him to be since he's been back. It's just I need all three of them to be on the same page. Right now, it's only two.
Honestly, I think we're in line for a repeat this year. I think we're going to see the Bucks and the Suns again.
I mean, it's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched, but
not far-fetched.
It's tough for me to like. I really like this Bulls team, man. That Bulls team is going to be so rough in a 7-game series, and when Miami's healthy, Miami's also going to be tough in a 7-game
Miami's going to be a
series.
tough out.
Miami wants Milwaukee. That's
do.
who they want.
I know they do.
They're
they got
one
their number. But
they're 1-1. They're 1-1 in playoff series.
The thing about the Bulls though, they have two guys that actually have playoff experience, which is Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan, but they don't have a lot of experience. They just have more than who's
Caruso.
on the team.
Caruso does have playoff.
Caruso has playoff experience.
But I know what you're saying, James.
But I know what you're saying.
They don't have a lot of experience. They have
Lonzo doesn't.
glimpses.
Zach LaVine doesn't have any. But he could Devin Booker this because he like Devin Booker's been waiting a long time for this.
Sometimes all you need is a real leader to kind of just show you the way.
And I like you. I wouldn't want to play Chicago in the first round.
DeMar DeRozan, he's a leader. Chris Paul never has gotten as far as he did last year. But he's still a leader and he's still a guy you follow, right? DeMar DeRozan is a leader. He's been around for a long time. And this year has put himself into a conversation where it's like, is DeMar DeRozan like actually a superstar? Where he's kind of been like falling off for the last couple of years, where he's like just stuck in San Antonio playing in the system that kind of just makes him shoot mid ranges and just be weird in purgatory. Like, this is a different DeMar DeRozan than we've really seen, because he's never been this guy. Even in Toronto, he wasn't this guy. But Zach LaVine elevated his game a couple years ago and is staying on top. And you have Vucevic. You got a bunch of veteran guys here who want to play. So, like, they can make a run.
I think one team we don't talk a lot about is the Cavaliers. Like,
I love that Cleveland team so much.
That Cleveland team is.
But they're getting walked out of the first round, so it doesn't even matter.
They're
by the
getting
Heat,
walked right out the first round.
By the Heat, just getting walked out.
Hand on their back.
So you're not giving them one game?
A gentleman's sweep is still a sweep to me. Like, even if Cleveland took one game.
Hand on the back, showing them the exit.
Also, at least they got their hand on the back, right?
Cleveland ain't ready for that. Cleveland ain't ready. But Jared Allen's my guy, and I will root for Jared Allen every step of the way because he's been playing great. But Evan Mobley is a fucking stud. There is no rookie who impacts their game defensively the way that Evan Mobley does. The only other guy would be Scotty Barnes in Toronto. But Evan Mobley...
the kid on the Kings.
Davion Mitchell?
Yeah.
Evan Mobley, like, I saw statistics that were like, yo, Evan Mobley is like light years ahead of everybody for what he's doing. On the rim protection side, and what he's doing offensively, he's fantastic. And I think right now he's Rookie of the Year.
I think he's Rookie of the Year.
Like, if it ended right now, it's Rookie of the Year. Do I think...
Evan Mobley is the 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the 4.
They're playing a lineup that's just like 3 7-footers. And like Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. And it's hilarious.
It's so funny seeing Lauri Markkanen play the 3 because he's really like almost the size of KP.
Yeah. He's literally 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
They have 3 guys who are like 7 feet tall. And if they played a zone, like a 2-3 zone all the time, that would be such a weird defense to play against because they can cover ground.
They would be an interesting matchup for Brooklyn because they're really big. And the one thing that Brooklyn has trouble with is rebounding and teams with size. Is Brooklyn better than them? Hell yeah. It's not even close.
I don't want to play Jared Allen.
But
I don't want to play Jared Allen.
Styles make fights. And listen, man, Cleveland's scary. Now, like, at the same token, if Cleveland plays Milwaukee in the first round, we're going to just walk them out the door. We're just going to walk them out. But if they catch Brooklyn, if they catch Chicago, maybe, I don't know who they're going to do with the guards.
It's just the guards.
Chicago's guards is going to kill them. But
even our guards would kill their guards. Like, that's just.
But Cleveland's an interesting matchup. They're an interesting matchup. But at the same time, y'all giving them all this praise. They're good.
But they're not that good.
They're still.
They shouldn't be where they are.
They're a playing team.
Yeah. They shouldn't be where they are. Same thing with the Wizards. I love the Wizards, but
they're falling off just like I expected.
they've been falling the fuck off. I mean, the hell off. I don't know what the hell happened.
They're another team who I've heard are in the running for Jeremy Grant.
They are who I thought they were. And we sat here, shout out to the Riches. They sat here and told me on Chalk Talk that the Wizards are better because Russell Westbrook is not there, and that is ridiculous.
They are. They are better without him.
They have a better team, and
they will
still
be a regular ass playoff team and not a play-in team.
And do they have a better roster?
Yes.
If Russell Westbrook was on this team right now, is that a guaranteed playoff team?
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Wait, no, I can't ask you. You're a Spencer Dinwiddie stand. No, I'm not asking you.
Hey, I'm rolling with the tech guy with a jumper.
You sat here on that Chalk Talk and told me Spencer Dinwiddie is better than Russell Westbrook.
He is. He currently, Spencer Dinwiddie is better than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has these ridiculously stupid triple doubles that don't result to wins.
That's a lot of those.
Man, I watched him play Brooklyn on Christmas Day. He had 10, 11, and 10. Great job, Russ. Real impact on the game there. And still had a minus like 7. Bum.
Kind of a bum. I can't even defend that. Russell Westbrook.
No, and nobody wants, and you can't even trade him. Who wants him?
Who wants his contract? It's not,
It's his
not
contract.
necessarily
It's not
who
that
doesn't.
nobody wants him.
Exactly.
It's his contract.
It's his contract.
Who wants him?
He's owed like 40-something million. Like,
Exactly.
And he doesn't earn it. Like, what?
he earned it in the beginning. Like when he signed the contract, he was still worth the money. It's just now it's
not his fault. He's overpaid. So
You can't, like, the Lakers can't even give him away if they wanted to. Literally can't.
they could give him to Philly.
it's funny because Rondo threw
Philly
shots
won't
at
take
the
him.
Lakers.
I know Philly will take him.
Philly wouldn't take him.
I know Philly wouldn't take him.
Embiid would be like, no.
Doc Rivers would
Absolutely
lose
not.
his mind.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook. He tends to speak his mind. Get a little
Any
into
player who comes out after being criticized for missing shots and turning over the ball and is just like, I'm gonna keep doing it. Fuck him. Like, get out of my face. Like, stop it. You're literally out here just coasting. I'm good on that. You're just there to be there.
But I don't
You
know
don't care
about
about
this.
you don't
I
care
don't
about
know-
winning, bro.
I don't know where this Laker team falls though. Like, where do they fall? Like,
LeBron James at center keeps them alive and makes them interesting.
When the GOAT is doing GOAT things, they always got a chance.
Like, we're finally seeing that. Well, we've never seen LeBron play center, so we don't know. He can play center, and he's doing great.
GOAT James just does GOAT things.
Malik Monk is coming into his own, too. Like, shout out to Rise for posting all the Malik Monk love. Like,
And like I said a month ago, if Anthony Davis comes back and plays like a top 10 NBA player, this Laker team can make noise.
I don't think it's the play we need to worry about when it comes to him though. Like, I think we all know what the situation is when it comes.
well, he hasn't played well even when he's been on the court, so like you have to worry about it.
Well, but what rhythm has he gotten into? Like,
No, I will defend that. I will defend that. I will give you that.
He was playing.
He was playing, but like it goes back to the Russell Westbrook doesn't really know how to get him the ball and where he wants it, and he's the guy who should be the number one option on that team.
If he plays like a top 10 player, the Lakers are fine. The Lakers are fine, but he was not playing like a top 10 NBA player.
No, he
was playing like a top 20, top 25 NBA player, but that's not what this Lakers team
He needs to be AD. He needs to be AD.
Because my thing that concerns me is that the Lakers post LeBron, because again, they want Anthony Davis to be the face of that team. And once LeBron goes, it's like
real shaky.
Can you count on Anthony Davis being that centerpiece for your team?
Street clothes?
No.
Street clothes?
No. When LeBron up and ultimately leaves LA, they're going to blow that whole thing up. There's no point because I think the organization understands it, and everybody there knows.
How many more years?
2?
2.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Anthony Davis will be in his 30s, or if he's not already. Russell Westbrook should be gone already by then, and then you have LeBron that's gone. You blow that up because you know you're not going to contend with Anthony Davis by himself, and get back whatever you can get.
Street clothes.
And by that point, you know what's going to be happening in the league. John Morant's going to be running the league. Donovan Mitchell's going to be running the league. Devin Booker's going to be running the league.
Mm-hmm.
And
And quiet as it kept, the Clippers might be back by then. So
The Clippers going to be back by next year.
The Clippers may be back by this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
No,
Kawhi Leonard's coming back this season.
I still don't believe in that.
No,
Yes,
he's
he
not
is.
coming.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Is
yes,
he?
he is. Oh, yes, he is.
Kawhi Leonard and Paul
thought
George
they
will be
said he
back
was-
by playoffs.
I thought they said Kawhi wasn't coming back this year.
He's ahead of schedule.
He's ahead of schedule.
Oh, he's ahead of schedule? Oh,
You forgot
wow.
he's a cyborg? You forgot he's a cyborg?
Sometimes these athletes are just freaks
Well,
of nature.
well, they got
who just recover
to
from shit.
they got to maintain until they can get them back. 'Cause I know George is out for a couple weeks. And actually, he's getting evaluated in a couple
He's getting
weeks.
evaluated in a couple
Getting
weeks.
evaluated in a
We don't
couple
know
weeks.
what that's
I
gonna be.
Yeah.
think Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will be back by playoffs.
If they can
At
get
that
there.
point, if they could get to the playoffs, I feel bad for whoever they have to play, except for the top two best teams because they're going to run through them.
Except for Golden State and Phoenix.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Wait, but why is Utah not being mentioned?
Exactly. I don't think Utah cares either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Utah stinks.
I don't think Utah cares.
I'll die
Utah-
on that hill. I'll die on that hill.
Utah might want that smoke because, like I said, Donovan Mitchell doesn't get hurt. Clippers go home second round.
And then you got Kawhi Leonard who turns into playoff Kawhi, and he's just like, "Come here, Gobert. Let me give you every bucket I could possibly give you."
There's
I took out one.
There's no such thing as playoff Kawhi after he airballed that game-winning shot last year in the playoffs. That man died.
You didn't see Kawhi in that Maverick series? As
Airball
playoff Kawhi.
Airball the game-winning three. Goodbye. Playoff Kawhi doesn't exist.
You didn't see that whole Toronto Raptors run?
I wouldn't go that far. He had an historic Toronto
I saw Luka Doncic busting his ass up. That's what I saw.
Did you see Kawhi?
Yeah, but Luka
defense
can
and
get
giving
off the
him
first
42?
round. Man.
Luka's running to the if goddamn Porzingis or Tim Hardaway could just do anything.
Well, you can forget about Tim Hardaway.
Luka would have already.
Neither one of those guys.
twice.
One of those guys
hold
won't
on,
be
wait.
on the team. in the- by the
That
time
was
the trade deadline comes.
Porzingis-
the Clipper buzzsaw every year.
Hold on. Porzingis has been playing better recently. Porzingis has been playing better. He's been averaging about 21 a game, actually.
Yeah, it's only but a matter of time before he goes out for the season with an injury.
It's either Porzingis or Hardaway won't be on.
I don't have any
the
business
trade
for
deadline.
Porzingis. At the end of the day,
One
he
of
did what
them
he
will
had
be
to
gone. One of them will be gone.
Well, right now it's going to be Hardaway because Porzingis is ball. So right now it's going to be.
This is what people don't realize. When you have a player who's not playing very well and he starts to play well, that's the player you want to get rid of. That's the guy you want to go because his value is at an all-time high. Get rid of him before his true value starts to show.
Who do they want? Who do they want to pair with Doncic? Who do they want to put?
You
there?
could literally pair anybody.
They want it
Literally
to be
pair anybody.
Porzingis. They want it to be Porzingis, but I think that Porzingis. I think that
Go get him,
Mark
CJ.
Cuban, they're realizing he's not that guy. He's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
Go get him
You so happy
CJ.
when
Go
you said
get
that?
him Jeremy Grant. Go get him somebody who could just give you a bucket.
But I know who is that guy. That's Luka. Luka's
that guy.
Luka Magic.
Luka's the one.
They run
Luka-
into the Clippers though. They always get a lead, and then they lose the series.
Like I said,
That Clippers team is a hard matchup for them, especially when you only have Luka.
when you only have Luka, like I said,
They almost had him last year.
if anybody could give them anything, they can beat the Clippers.
They got Brunson this year. He's playing
I've
really,
heard-
really
He's
well.
playing really well, but I'm not.
That's not going to be Kawhi and Paul George.
No. There's got to be somebody that the Mavs can go and get that will make a real impact on them.
And
I
it's
think
weird because I don't know. I mean, Jeremy Grant might be
Jeremy
that
Grant
guy.
might be the guy, and
Jeremy Grant
CJ might be the guy, but I don't know how CJ is.
Yeah.
CJ disappears a ton in playoffs, and it's
He
weird.
does.
He'll go one game
He
giving you
does.
40, and the other game giving you 11. It's
He
weird.
does that. He's done that to Dame for years.
And then he cost Dame the playoff series last year.
That's still better than Hardaway. I'll still take that over Hardaway.
Hardaway had a couple games where he balled last year. He had a couple
Okay.
games where he was actually the back half of that Clippers series. He was the second best player on that
He
team.
gets streaky. If you get him hot,
Yeah.
he can
But
carry.
we gotta put extra emphasis on that. It's very limited.
Well, when Hardaway is your second best player, when he's not supposed to be your second best player, that just means your
Exactly.
actual
He's-
second best player sucks.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be the second best player on the team. Porzingis,
balls, man.
nobody knew where the hell he was when they faced the Clippers. He was non-existent. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know. I would like to see them get somebody else because when the Mavericks are going, they're wonderful to watch. But then Luka sometimes like just forgets how to shoot free throws too, and it's weird. Where he shoots better from 3 than he does from the free throw line, which I just can't believe that. But I don't know. The playoffs are gonna be interesting. I hope this trade deadline is nasty. I hope some shit goes down. Imagine if the Dallas Mavericks end up getting like Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons and Luka.
And then defensively, they're just stupid. Like, I don't know, man. Or Tobias Harris.
What
You give
impact?
Tobias would fit on Dallas too.
Like, there's a few guys that I want to see, but I don't know who else is available. Like, I'm still waiting to see what happens with John Wall. I'm still waiting to see what
I
happens
could care
with...
less about John Wall.
John Wall will make an impact wherever he goes right now. Because right now, he's literally not doing anything. And if, let's say, Philly trades him and John Wall gets bought out, and then he just goes to Philly for nothing, he's already better than Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons wasn't playing, and it's nothing but a plus. Like, people shit on John Wall. John Wall can play.
Yeah, people do shit on John Wall.
People do shit on John Wall.
But
John
he
Wall
ain't
can
got-
play.
He ain't got no jumper though, man. His
He
jumper.
actually
Go-
does have a jumper.
Go look, man. You need to watch some John Wall from last year because he's gotten better. It's just he's not in
He's not
Houston's.
explosive anymore.
Yes.
You know what he is? He's Derrick Rose. That's what he is. It's exactly what he's turned into.
Speaking of Derrick Rose, when the hell is he coming back?
I don't know. Could be a few more weeks. I don't know.
Speaking of Derrick Rose, who would you compare John Morant to? Would you compare? Because I think he's more Derrick Rose than Russell Westbrook now
I do too. I think he's
because
Derrick Rose.
of how much better rounded his game is.
Well, I would compare it because he's a better finisher at the rim than young Russ was. Like, he's very creative around the rim. Derrick Rose was very creative around the rim.
Derrick Rose was unbelievable around the rim. When
So,
he was going, him and Kyrie Irving are the two guys that when they get to the hoop, it's just they're gonna get it no matter what.
Foul or bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So
James, you all right there?
clearly he does not care about Derrick Rose.
I've been watching your eyes go, man.
Yeah, I was like, hold up, is James sleeping? I was like,
It's like Charles Barkley just sleeping.
Well, besides Derrick Rose, I mean, are we on trivia? Did we hit everything tonight?
We hit everything. I wanted to debut my other segment when I don't have time to do trivia, which was the best numbers. Who are the best athletes
Yes.
to wear these numbers?
Woo.
So
I get
I'm
a
gonna,
win.
I have 3. Well, it's not really
Anthony's
it's not really
ready. Look
something
at
you
him.
could it's not something you could just win. It's kind of a conversation starter to see.
Oh,
right?
oh, okay. Never mind.
So
But if you get it wrong, you're gonna get teased.
yeah, if you say the wrong answer out of the 3 options I give you, I'm making fun of you.
So I can't win, but I can lose.
Yes.
That's totally awesome. Totally fucking awesome.
Don't be dumb. All right. I have 3 numbers for you. 21. Roberto Clemente, Deion Sanders, or Tim Duncan?
Wow.
Right?
Tim Duncan.
I love Tim, but I don't know. It's between Tim and Deion for me.
It's between Tim and Deion.
Because prime time, man.
Prime, man.
I know, but Tim Duncan's elite boring
Duncan's
play.
well, they're both like the GOAT
And they're
at their
the
positions.
polar opposites.
Exactly.
Oh,
But Deion
man.
did it on 2 different sports. And that's
Yep.
where it's
You know
like,
what? That's it for me
Deion.
right there. Prime.
Deion did it
Coach,
on 2 different
Coach Prime.
sports. He played
Coach
an
Prime.
NFL game and an MLB game in the
MLB
same night.
playoff game. Yeah, Coach Prime
And
for
it's
me.
of college football. Coach Prime.
Coach Prime for me. No disrespect to Roberto Clemente.
None at all. And no disrespect to my guy, Tim Duncan.
Tim, man.
What do you got? What about you, Anthony?
I said Tim Duncan.
Oh, Tim. And what about you,
Yeah.
James?
deserves the number?
Who's the athlete that will forever wear number 21? When you see 21 on the numbers on the athlete board, this is the guy you see.
It's gotta be Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be Dion.
Yeah, it's got to be Prime.
It's Prime.
It's gotta be Prime.
Obviously, I'm gonna go with Tim Duncan. No, I'm not going with him. I'm saying obviously I would go with Tim Duncan if we're only talking about winning and like the subtle things. But if we're talking about what you remember, you're gonna remember prime time with the cherry curl, the 5 gold chains, the dance.
The dance.
Mhm.
What about the casual T-shirt and those Walmart jeans, man? Come on.
Prime Time
man.
is one of the most polarizing athletes of all time.
So was Tim Duncan.
I'm sorry if that's how you still dress, Anthony, but no.
And Prime is different because he came out there and is arguably the greatest cornerback to ever play the game. He has the most confidence and swag out of any player ever. Like, nobody can say shit to Dion because Dion's going to roll up there, do whatever he wants, refer to himself in the third person as Prime, and then keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to ask him something, he's like, Prime ain't got to deal with that, and he's going to keep going.
Or he's gonna say, refer to me as coach, and if you don't refer to me as coach, this interview is over.
Yep. Like,
Because you weren't talking, you wouldn't
even
call Nick Saban Nick. You gotta call
Yep.
Nick Saban coach.
even Prime Time as a coach right now, I would run through a brick wall for Deion Sanders.
Yep.
Get off the
Absolute
phone.
brick wall. Because he's changing the game, but like as an athlete, he's won. The way he's won, he won in Dallas, San Fran. Was he on that Baltimore Ravens team that won too?
No.
No, he was after that.
No.
But-
Yeah, when he went to Baltimore and Washington, it was
done.
over.
He was done.
Yeah.
But man, he changed the game. He changed the game. Like, as much as I love Tim Duncan, and Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward of all time, Deion Sanders is like, as an athlete, he is 21. That's the
Right.
first one I think of.
Sorry, Anthony.
You lose. You could win if you're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
This next one, I think we're all going to be on the same side of 32. Magic Johnson, Jim Brown, Kevin McHale.
It's magic.
It's magic.
It's magic.
It's
Kevin
Magic
McHale's not
Johnson.
even in this
So
conversation.
did I win one?
You finally won one. We're all in
Yes.
the majority.
Yes.
Because Magic
About
Johnson,
time.
Magic Johnson is my guy. If I love any player, I love Magic Johnson.
Mhm.
Ooh,
It's Jim Brown though, bro.
it is.
It
I don't
See,
like-
that's-
Yeah.
I don't like
That's
some of the
the
stuff
only-
Jim Brown's been doing recently. He's been saying a lot of things I don't like. So just for that, I'm
We're
not
talking about an
saying this one.
athlete, not
Yeah,
as a
it
person, as
doesn't
an
mess up his
athlete.
legacy. It doesn't mess up his legacy.
Yeah.
As an athlete, it's literally it's this conversation literally is Magic Johnson versus Jim Brown, but Magic Johnson is the Lakers. Like
Yep.
for a long time, Magic Johnson is the Lakers, and will always be synonymous with the Lakers and everything he's ever done. Like an era of basketball was called Showtime because of him.
When I see the NFL logo, it reminds me of Jim Brown running the ball. So like I don't know.
Oh no! I just when I think about
used to be a figurine just like the NBA, but
Mhm.
now it's just the NFL. But
And
when I-
Magic
when I-
Johnson saved the NBA.
when I think of Magic Johnson, I think of that sky hook.
it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Yeah, well, you don't have the NBA if you don't have Magic Johnson. I will give Larry Bird his respect too, but without one or the other, like,
Yeah, because the NBA wasn't doing too hot during the 70s, right?
nope.
Yeah, who did you really like? Who was really carrying the NBA in the 70s like that?
Dr. J,
Well, we had Bummy, Dr. J. I mean,
Correct.
who else did you have? Like
Moses
Yeah.
Malone,
Moses Malone.
Kareem.
Kareem.
Oh yeah, Kareem. You did have the Lakers early in the 70s, and the Knicks early in the 70s.
What's Pistol Pete?
Well, Pete Maravich.
Like you had players there, but
Was it John?
Havlicek,
Yeah, John Havlicek.
he was into the 70s, yes.
Yeah, he was into the 70s.
But without Magic and Bird, you don't have the NBA as we know it now. Because without
Okay,
Magic
yeah, I
and
can
Bird,
see why the
you
Lakers-
also don't have Michael.
Exactly.
Yes, don't.
And you cannot tell the story of basketball without Magic, Bird, Michael, Braun, everybody, Durant, all these people. Like without Magic, we don't have the NBA today. And then the last one, 34. Shaq, Walter Payton, or Nolan Ryan.
I
Shaq.
only think of Shaq when I hit 34.
Yeah, Shaq. That's Shaq.
It's tough because of Walter Payton.
It's tough because of Walter Payton.
It's because of Walter Payton.
Walter Payton makes it tough. But I will go with Shaq.
We're talking
when
the
you
second
said
most dominant player. Like,
The most dominant player of all time.
the second most dominant.
The most.
The most.
Will Chamberlain's the most dominant. But Shaq is the second most dominant.
Will Chamberlain couldn't even win over
He
against
averaged
Bill
50
Russell.
points a game for an entire season.
You got
He was
footage?
playing against people who are my height. You better average 50.
No. I got a better
Wow.
question. You got footage?
What?
You got
You got-
footage? Will's 100-point game never
Shit, let me
happened.
go on YouTube right now. Hold on a second.
You got footage of the 100-point game?
Never happened.
I got part of it.
No, you don't. No, you
sure
don't.
it was that game? You sure it was that game?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the picture of the scorecard for that game?
Yeah.
It's the most made-up shit of all time because of all the things that were erased and put back on. That shit never happened.
No.
That shit never happened.
Good story.
It's a great story.
Yeah,
It's
good story.
this Herculean task of scoring 100 points.
Bro, but they literally changed the rules because of how dominant he was. Come on.
And because he was the biggest person.
Because of how dominant Shaq was. They literally changed the rules. That 5 seconds to the basket, that's Shaq's rule.
Yeah.
That's Shaq.
I thought that was Charles.
Nah, that's Shaq.
That's Diesel.
That happened. The 5 second to the rim that happened after they won against the Sixers. That started to happen then when he was just bullying Mutombo.
Will barely played against people his own size. So you can't really call him the most dominant when he never was going against people his own size.
Then he let Bill Russell wipe the floor with him.
Bill Russell owned Will. Owned him. Like, I can see where you're about to come from, James, because, yeah, obviously you dominate guys who are 5'4", but, like, the talent wasn't up to par. And then he missed Kareem.
The thing with Will versus Bill Russell, so we can speak to the numbers and we go, oh, Bill Russell had Wilt's number, but when I talk to the guys that was actually there to watch these
Bill
games,
Russell had a better team.
He 100% had a better team.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but if Will is as dominant as everyone's saying he is, he should have also been able to carry.
He won a few.
He won a few, but he got wrecked by those Celtics teams.
There you go.
It just shows that whenever he got against talent that was close to him, he lost.
Nah, one man.
I'll ride for Shaq. Even though he was lazy as fuck. Lazy as fuck.
Yeah,
I honestly think, for me, it's Will, Kareem, Mike, and then Shaq, for me personally. Like, as far as, like, big man. That's my order, personally. Mike in. George.
Do not get me started on fucking George Mikan. Do not get me started on George Mikan.
Dude, you got to give the man his flowers, man.
I'm not putting George Mikan over Hakeem fucking Olajuwon. You're fucking crazy.
You're going to give flowers to George Mikan, but you won't give flowers to Dr. J.
I don't. Why you got to bring Dr. J into this, man?
You're bringing up George fucking Mikan.
I already told you how I feel about Dr. J, but anyways.
George Mikan. Over fucking
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. Get the fuck out of here.
We're talking about different eras, man. Because again, you got to give props.
You just named fucking those 4 people, but you won't name Olajuwon.
Olajuwon's 5. I'm sorry, I meant in top 5. I only named
Olajuwon is literally the most skilled center to ever play the game of basketball. Literally the most skilled center to ever play the game of basketball.
He's the most dominant.
I said skilled.
Shaq is.
Shaq's the most dominant.
No, he's not. Will's the most dominant.
We're just talking in a circle here. And then if you want to talk about Kareem literally had the most unguardable move, so I'll give you that. That is dominant as hell. And he also had longevity. For you to put George Mikan on any list of dominance is stupid. Dwight was more dominant than George Mikan.
How tall was George Mikan?
6'9".
He was the NBA's first original big man. Just for that, I put him there.
Good.
I put him on the list.
And he can be the first one off the list.
He can
be the first one off the list. There's so many other centers that are just way better than him.
Yo, Dylan, clap it up, man.
Bruh, our fathers weren't even around when Mikan was playing.
What the fuck?
I don't even know if our grandfathers were.
You're not going to disrespect people who are actually great with fucking George Mikan. Moses Malone? Moses Malone. Not on that list. But George fucking Mikan is.
I'm taking Arvydas Sabonis over George Mikan. I'm taking Mark.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas over fucking George Mikan.
All right, we got to talk about the eras. Obviously, okay, what did the NBA look like during 1949 to 1950s?
Apparently, they had the greatest center of all time in George Mikan.
I wasn't there.
Exactly. Our grandfathers.
I'm fucking disgusted.
We know what the NBA looked like in 1950, all right? We're talking 1950. We're talking 72 years ago, all right?
Yeah, you're talking about the most dominant compared to his counterparts in 1950.
I'm obviously putting a lot of onus on legacy and impact here when I put George Mikan.
What's his legacy? What's his legacy besides him being number one, the first?
Don't you think that's a big enough legacy right there?
No, I don't.
Picking Dave the Butcher over.
Who's the first ever point guard? Oh, you don't know because obviously it doesn't matter. Obviously,
it doesn't. We're talking about big men here. I'm not talking about point guard.
If you knew who the first point guard ever was, he'd be on your list of top 5 point guards ever, just because he's the first.
I never made a list of top 5 point guards.
Just because he's the first.
I never made a list of top 5.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Wait. I didn't put Mike in number 1 though. I didn't put Mike.
You still put him in your top 5. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
There's power forwards that are like top 15 that I would take over Mikan at center.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking different eras, Dylan. Like we're talking different. I'm specifically focusing on that era.
Then why isn't Bill Russell over Mikan?
What?
Why isn't Bill Russell over Mikan? You want to talk about the single greatest defensive center to ever play the game of basketball? He's not better than George Mikan. He's not more dominant, even though he dominated one side of the basketball.
I just said I'm putting onus on legacy. I'm putting a lot of onus on legacy.
George Mikan and Bill Russell didn't play that much farther apart from each other.
I know, but he was before Russ. I know it's not that much before, but he was before Russ. He was the first to do it.
Because he's the first and not better.
He's the first
and not better.
It's a legacy
you're doing it based on him being better.
It's a legacy pick.
No, but you can't legacy pick dominance.
You can't legacy dominance.
You can't legacy dominance. Dominance, it doesn't matter error when you talk about dominance. So when we're talking about who is the most dominant, we're talking about based on any era you place them in, who is the most dominant. So
no, but the thing is, do y'all remember? I think it was one of the first podcasts we did. We talked about I think it was the first one we did. We talked about the 75 list.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where people were disagreeing with certain picks and whatnot. Like, oh, he's from the 50s.
Get him the fuck off my list.
Yes, we also said that we don't agree with just automatically submitting them players in there just because they were there before all these other players that are here now. Because honestly, if we look at like the top 50 and we look at somebody like Bob Cousy, obviously he's an originator, but he couldn't tie Steph Curry's shoes. He should.
But then how do you make? But then my thing is, then how do you do these lists then? Because my thing, how do you do it? Because it's like you can't not give Bob Cousy his flowers, but I also agree with you at the same time.
So
I believe they need to make
George Mikan in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s, or 2020s and have him be dominant. No.
I think they need to make two different type of lists. I think they need to make a legacy and they need to make an all-time. Because if they look at legacy, they'll pay homage, and then you look at all-time, meaning you can take this player from this era and put him in this era, and they'll do the same exact thing as dominancy.
I see what you're
George
saying.
Mikan doesn't even make it into the rotation of centers in the Laker organization. Doesn't even make it. Like he doesn't even get. If you're
Minneapolis,
just doing Minneapolis Lakers, that's it.
He
But
doesn't
if
count.
Dylan, in 1924, the first big man center was born. George Mikan.
Okay, cool. Since we're doing that, why don't, in the beginning of NBA games, why don't we hear the Canadian national anthem? Unless you're in Toronto. The game is Canadian. So if we're doing legacy, why don't we hear the Canadian national anthem before every game? Thought so. Fuck George Mikan.
I.e. ass face.
Dr. James Naismith is a Canadian man who created the game. In Canada. Yet, no Canadian national anthem, but I gotta fucking sit here and recognize fucking George Mikan. George fucking Mikan?
By the way, George Mikan, who played a total of 9 years.
What were his stats? What were George Mikan's stats?
Well, his stats or his highlight, like his awards and stuff.
So he doesn't even have stats.
He has stats, but the awards come up first. So he averaged 22.6 a game.
22.6 a game when he's the most dominant player.
13 rebounds a game, though.
13 rebounds. That's it. That's it.
And 2 and 3 assists.
That's it. And he's
during that time.
He could only do that against people who are 5'7".
I will give Anthony credit. 22 and 13 back then is a lot. That is a lot. It's not like they were scoring 80 points a game.
Yeah,
they weren't scoring 80.
No, again, I can understand I can understand he's not going up against the Kevin Durant or the Giannis.
If he's doing 22 then, what is he doing in the 60s?
Probably the same numbers.
I don't think so. I don't think he is. And if you put him in the 70s, is he putting up those same numbers? Probably not.
I'd say he would do that in the 60s because he played until 56. So the
60s there still was very much white.
But that's when you actually got dominant big men.
True. He got out
before people got good.
Before Wilt.
I will give you that.
Before they let black people in. He got out before they let black people in.
I'm trying to avoid some of the obvious statements here by dancing around.
So George Mikan's racist.
No. Well, if he was in the 50s, he probably was.
Comes from an era.
Comes from an era.
Oh, you have a racist on your most dominant list.
Oh my God.
I don't know. He's from Gillette, Illinois. So I mean, he's from the north.
From the north. Okay, we get away. But he still got more black people allowed to play.
Excuse me. That's from the north. Don't mean you're not racist.
Never said that. But if you were in the north and that side at that time,
likely.
That was less likely. Or you were hiding it.
If that would have said Macon, Georgia, I'd have been like, yeah, he's racist.
Yeah, he was definitely.
Oh, man.
No, if you put George Mikan against black people, he's not good.
What?
That's, I think, the moral of the story here.
Might be.
He said that.
I did. I stand by it.
That might be the clip of the week.
Cancel that motherfucker, not me.
Why cancel me? I didn't say anything outlandish. I just say it's amazing that he disappeared before Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain came along. Don't cancel me.
He only played 8. He played 9 years, coached for 2, and then got up out of there.
Got up out of there. He saw what was coming. He was like, I'm good. I'm good.
He did
Get
what
him
he
off
had
your
to
list,
do.
Anthony.
He did what he had to do, man.
Get him off your list. Real
Not get him off my list. You guys are not going to talk about bummy players like Dr. J. and then shit on George Mike. All right.
Why is Dr. J bummy? We still don't know why Dr. J is
Next,
bummy.
listen, we're 2 hours and 45 minutes in. Next,
We went
let's-
3:30
let's
last
go to,
time.
Let's go to the
He
trivia.
was gonna do
Let's
that.
let's go to the
I
trivia.
knew.
Let's go to the trivia.
That was it.
That
That was
was
my
the
stuff.
trivia.
That was the
Oh,
trivia.
that was true. Oh, okay.
We're
Okay, that's
actually
true.
done.
So
There's
we're
nothing
actually
to
done.
talk about.
So, Dr. J, why?
So,
Why?
I'll tell you why right now.
He's disconnecting himself from the chat. He took himself out.
Well,
I
that's
hate
this-
him.
This.
I hate him so much.
Well, it's his week, so let him go out the way he wants to go out.
I'm furious.
We're gonna get to the bottom of the no.
What happened? Why do you hate Dr. J?
No. Bye-bye.
No. Yeah, no. You're out of here. You're out of here, buddy. You'll come back when we do the goodbyes. So
sit backstage for a little bit.
so yeah, that is it for this show. We will be back next week to recap, which is sure to be a wild playoff week, opening weekend. I don't think there's any fights. There's a fight this weekend.
Oh, did you guys see that? See the card that's coming up?
Which card?
Masvidal Covington.
Oh, yes, I did. That should be
That's
fun.
gonna be a great fight.
That's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be a great fight. Oh, here's this bum.
Yeah, you're back. Wait,
You know.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you know your name. Hi.
Huh?
Oh, bum. He refers to himself as bum. I love it.
Well,
Anthony knows how to push my buttons like nobody else.
Are you gonna keep scrolling, or you ready
Oh,
to
no,
take the floor for your goodbyes?
Yes, I'm ready to take the floor.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. Oh,
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm going first.
Two-time COVID champ. There you go. Take
The
it.
two-time COVID champion.
The willing and dealing.
Woo! Rolex wearing. Woo!
Yeah.
Diamond ring wearing. Kiss
That's so
stealing.
hard.
Woo! Wheeling dealing. Son of a gun. And I just can't hold my alligators down. Woo!
Into that Ric Flair woo right there.
Two-time COVID champ. Got it twice, beat it twice, suck me. Like and subscribe. We're out here every week, giving y'all something to hate, something to love, putting these takes out there like George Mikan is a fucking dominant center, even though he played against 5'8" white guys. Is racist.
really?
And the Raiders are gonna make the Super Bowl. But fuck Karl Malone. John Lester.
Yeah.
We're out
saying
here.
all these things.
Like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I stand by my takes. I'm out here. I'll hold L's when I need to hold an L, but I haven't said anything L-worthy tonight. Fuck the Jazz. They got a statue of Karl Malone outside. We don't recognize them. Like and subscribe. Thank you to all our listeners. Two-time champ. Out.
Okay. Gonna be tough to beat that, but we will try.
Get me off. There we go.
Like and subscribe, guys. I was a real snooze fest, and I've been really
Literally.
If you don't think I'm putting the Charles Barkley sleeping face on you, what's going on?
Listen, I'm welcoming it, man, because I'm exhausted. I already reached out to Mike earlier about it.
I thought you were gonna sign off.
Nah, man, gotta
One
run
more
through.
month, man. One more month, and then you get all the basketball talk you want.
Nah, it's not even that, man. It's just that I got so much going on outside of this pod that it's good things, though. I can't wait to express the things that I'm doing with you guys.
Express yourself.
I'm
Still
not
playing.
acknowledging you still. I'm still not acknowledging you. But subscribe. Shout out to all the fans and listeners, supporters, not fans. Shout out to that Triple B's chat room. Shout out to the Chalk Talks. We got more coming. Shout out to the fellas, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to two-time COVID champ Dylan.
Two-time.
Nick Dreisler. Shout out Big Mike. Shout out Roz.
Shout out Roz.
Yeah, shout out Roz, man. Miss you. Gotta get back up here, bro. Yeah, and you too, Knock.
You
Put
gonna
the
drop
twos down.
Twitter
I'm the
handles?
twos. Two-time.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter at Breezy5X. Follow me on IG Breezy__ Bills BILLZ. Shout out to everybody, man.
Shout out
Melanin,
SB.
Demigod. We here.
All right, here we go.
I will
Let's
keep
get
this.
out.
I'll keep this very short.
Dylan put the clown face
Thank-
on.
Want to thank our listeners, our subscribers. Every week we come out here, we do this for y'all. We stay to the early hours of the morning. We may be tired, but we love what we do. We do it for y'all. Like and subscribe. As always, follow me on Instagram, Enoch313. Speak on It podcast. Follow us. We're on Instagram, YouTube. There's some other platforms too. But yes.
Twitter.
Yes, Twitter. Forgot about that. Yeah. Thank you.
He's over there.
I'll get that. He's over there somewhere. Yeah. See. But yes. Yeah, we just try to give y'all a better episode each and every single week. I'm just blessed to be on here and be 100% correct all the time with all my predictions and all my seemingly crazy takes that somehow happen to come true. But look, I'm promising all you guys something. When the Raiders make the Super Bowl, it's going to be a special surprise.
All right, he's gone. Sorry about that. He's got to go. He has to go. Enough of that.
Oh, that was great. So I'm gonna let you guys know I am not the only producer on this show, and clearly the producers have had enough of Dylan. Have had enough of Anthony for one night.
I don't think I've said anything that's gotten me kicked out like that. I've said some shit.
But oh my goodness. But yes, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. As Anthony was trying to say, follow us on all the platforms that we're on: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, YouTube, Spotify. Shout out to Spotify. We're gonna be having polls up on Spotify soon, so shout out to them. And yeah, man, I don't know. You follow the YouTube channel, like and subscribe, everything. Like the fellas stated, we do this because we love it. We do it for you guys.
Twitter at @speak_on it podcast. I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna start doing some stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Twitter page is live. Follow us on Instagram. Same thing. Speak_on it podcast. Where am I at? I am at IAM_MBJ on everything. Shout out. I'll be going back to double duty. OTTR Wrestling Pod. We will be back live every Friday, starting this Friday at 11. Spoiler alert, your boy is going for the title again. Trying to get that 3-time. Going for that 3-time.
Shout out Braun Breaker.
Hopefully the Royal Rumble goes good. Your boy will come back. He'll have that belt.
Would you guys believe that I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Mike.
Yeah.
Would you believe I watched some wrestling last night, Mike?
Oh.
What you watch, Raw?
I watched Raw last night. I saw the girls fight.
At the end, you saw my girl Bianca?
I was watching.
We're getting Brock Bobby.
Growth. A little bit of growth, Mike.
Brock Bobby.
Brock Bobby's going to be good. I don't know who I'm picking yet, Dylan. Me and you will talk offline. Because I don't know what. I have a feeling, but I don't know yet.
telling you exactly where you need to go here.
But yeah, we put the socials, we put the platforms. Like Anthony said, we're going to be back and better than ever. We're just trying to get better each week. And I mean, with that, we'll bring the fellas in for the full screen for our YouTube viewers, so you can see them throw up their affiliations.
Two time.
And with that, we say good night. Tighten up.
Oh God, don't say that.
Go Jets.